All right, we're live.
Dan got me good. Shit.
Patrick, we are live.
Oh my God.
This
Yeah.
is now?
All right.
Are we live now?
Yes. Yes, sir. This is now.
Wait, so live right now.
We are live. I'll send you the link, Chris. Hold on.
All right.
So you open up your YouTube. You have to open up on YouTube.
You know what? Just send it to me in Messenger on Facebook.
Yep, I'm doing it.
Cool.
Ta-da!
Oh my God. Okay, I got it. I'll share it in a second.
Sure.
All right.
All right. Hey, Quentin, what's up?
Quentin.
I saw Theodore too.
All right.
All right.
Let's see. Hello, Theodore. Hello, Quentin. Hey, Dan. How are you guys? We are live with our with some special guests tonight. First of all, hailing from the great city of Troy, is my good friend Christopher George, who is the owner, publisher, writer, and bottle washer of the MovieSleuth.com. He is the owner, publisher, writer, and bottle washer of.
There we go.
Okay, and of course, many of you already know Steven from Wild Eye Guy 85,
Yeah.
Horror Freak 85, Horror Freak 85.
Horror Freak 85 and Wild Eye Guy, yes.
Because it ain't live without Wild Eye.
Yeah. I'm the guy for Wild Eye. That's how I was gonna say. You got the right guy with Wild Eye.
Now I don't know, Chris. Do you guys ever review anything from Wild Eye movies?
Yeah, we've done quite a few. It's been a
Okay.
while for me. You know, I was the main review guy for like 2 years on the site. And then slowly but surely, as life has gotten busier, I've been more the news guy and the interview guy and the editor and unfortunately the front end business guy, which can be fun and can be satisfying when you have the successes, but it can also be disappointing when things don't go the way you want them to. So my reviewing has kind of been very, very limited now, unfortunately, because I really do like that part of it.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I've been struggling with that this year. I'm watching my 38th film of the year, not reviewed, just watched.
Yeah. I think with the pandemic, it's held a lot of people down. I think a lot of people have felt kind of held back by that creatively, and I'm not sure why. Because us creatives, typically when you have more time on your hands, you strive to try and create more. But, you know, I'm a movie reviewer, I'm a writer, I'm a musician. And for me, this last year has really been tough. I don't get that creative push as much as I did before. And I'm not sure why that is. But a lot of people that I know that are creatives have had a much harder time this last year producing content.
I mean, the one thing I really like, I find myself, I really get into it still, is the interview process. I still love doing interviews. I spent like the last 10 months really trying to get my YouTube channel up. And I think I've gotten away from my blog a little bit from that. So I need to readjust on that. But I enjoy the interviewing part of it. The reviews have just been harder and harder for me to do. I mean, I think you're right. It's just a bit of a struggle.
Well, I think there's a couple different things that are going on with the reviews right now too. We're being handed a lot more independent stuff, and there's just this mass execution of smaller indie films that are happening right now, and a lot more indie horror. And you know, it creates a problem because when you're pushing all of one type of content, you get kind of tired of reviewing the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what happens with a lot of that lower budget horror stuff. So much of it repeats what you might have just seen 2 weeks ago in another horror movie. So we've had to actually taper back a lot of that horror writing just because there's so much stuff that's similar. Everything's, and I'm not saying everything's the same, but everything's the same.
Oh my gosh, reading the back, like when I went to Family Video, I read the back of movies, and I can't tell you how many synopses just have the same damn. 5 friends go to a cabin in the
woods.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like holy crow. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that again. You know, they're getting away. They're going to rekindle their relationship, so they go to a cabin, and it's just like holy crap, it's the same thing.
I've seen this thing a million times. And I think that for us has been a big it was a problem before the pandemic, but it was even harder to be like, hey guys, can we write 20 reviews of, $15,000 budgeted horror movies this week? Like, no, nobody wants to touch it because you find yourself saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. And we kind of found that it's better to put out less really good content than, the less is more thing,
I agree. That's one thing I did with, I'm sure you guys did as well. But I mean, as far as reviews go, because a lot of these folks inside the chat room, they do reviews as well. Like Q, Quentin here, he does reviews. Dan does reviews. Theodore does reviews. The real thing is to be diversified. Like on the inner circle or have Cheetah will view. I review anything and all things. I just can't just do one thing. I can't just do horror because I'd be burnt out totally within a month.
Yeah. It's really just kind of riding that fine line of I want to do quality, and sometimes you can't get quality when you're repeating yourself repeatedly. That's why last week I got the new Guy Ritchie movie. They sent it to me to watch at home, Wrath of Man. And it's a great movie. It's a really, really, really good movie. And it was nice as a refresher. Like, oh, wow, there's some good stuff coming out right now. And I was really into writing my review. And I felt really creative again about writing that review because it wasn't the same thing again. It wasn't the same thing again.
It's been a while since Statham's done a movie like that. It's been a long time.
Yeah, he's kind of been in that weird routine of doing the Fast and the Furious, the tongue-in-cheek, kind of funny, kind of dark action, bad guy kind of thing. With Wrath of Man, he's a menace. He is literally a menace, and he is actually scary in the movie because he is so cold and ruthless. It's amazing. And it was really nice to see Guy Ritchie abandon doing what he was doing with the big budget stuff like Aladdin a couple years ago, kind of getting back to his core element of I'm going to make a really good, gritty crime drama. And the cool thing was this time he left the humor at home. He didn't bring it at all. So it was kind of a step away as well. So I think if you're a fan of Guy Ritchie, it's a departure, and I think you'll totally enjoy it.
I'd like to welcome Horrific Nightmares JM to the room. Jason, how are you doing? Chadwick, glad to see you. Joe, glad to see you.
Hey, Joe.
Wow, all right. So this is for everybody who just joined into the chat. This is our guest, Christopher George. He is the owner, publisher, editor of the MovieSleuth.com. His site attracts over 250,000 viewers per month. So he has a large reach for as far as reviews and talking to interviews. What else do you guys do on the MovieSleuth besides just movies? Do you guys cover anything else?
We try and do a lot of soundtrack stuff, which that's been kind of harder with the pandemic as well. But we did start doing a section on the site, Soundtracks on Vinyl, where we were reviewing movie reviews or movie soundtracks on vinyl. And we do a lot of interviews. We've started doing comic books now. We do a lot of animation writing. But really, unfortunately, the whole news thing has kind of been a big thing for us the past couple of years now, too. It's just lifeblood for the site. People want to read news. They want to read short and sweet. They want something they can click on and read in 30 seconds to a minute. And that brings in traffic, but it also brings in clicks on over to the reviews as well. So we're diversifying, and it's good to diversify.
Yeah, it seems like I've noticed a lot of people, a lot of people are going back to comic books. I mean, like crazy. For a while there, I mean, I just wasn't seeing it, but now I'm like seeing so many channels pop up, and not only are they doing the current stuff, but a lot of them are going back and doing the old comic books as well.
Yeah. A lot of retro stuff.
We
get some stuff from Image early, so we did have a couple guys that were doing those reviews for us prior to their release. But again, the pandemic, some people, like, we get them stuff and they want to start out writing right away and then they fall off. So that's been a really hard, it's kind of been a battle for the last year, trying to keep people around and motivated to do stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I think, it's no knock, because I understand that, now that I'm doing it a little bit. I think some people feel that maybe they can do reviews better by video than by the old writing. I personally, I love to write. I rather write my reviews than speak them, because I sound like I have marbles in my mouth. But there are some very good video reviewers. There's some really good ones here that I really personally enjoy. Joe and Jason are two of them. The way their review style goes, it fits their channel, fits their personality. I personally am a guy who loves to write. It fits my personality. You're right, but you're right. It takes dedication. Oh, and Hoff's reviews, of course.
I gotta jump in for a sec. I'm still here, guys. I've just got some things going on in the background. So things I got going on. So I'm here. I'm just having Pat kind of run the show. Okay, so I'm not like dead or anything. I'm here. If you wanted to hear my succulent voice, here it is, just for you guys.
All right, we got. Hoff says to send them donuts.
I have no donuts. I'm sorry.
Oh.
And I'm sure Steven has a lot to talk about since he's been going to conventions the last 2 and 3 weeks.
Yes.
I'm sure he's seen a lot of things he'd like to share with us.
And
in fact, I know he did, because I've seen the videos and the pictures.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's another thing we could talk about real briefly, Chris, is like because you got because I'm sure you get invited to all the conventions now. I mean, 250,000 people a month. Yeah, I want you there.
Yeah, we traveled a couple years ago. We went to South by Southwest. We got press for that, so that was really cool. We didn't go the next year, and then the following year was, of course, COVID. We'll mention that again, so we couldn't go. We had a booth at Motor City Comic Con 2 years ago, so that was really nice. We took the podcast there, so we did a lot of live streaming from the Novi Center out there, which was really nice. That was really cool. We met a lot of people. So, it is nice getting invited to do the conventions. My personal thing that I like getting invited to more is the press screenings, though, getting to see movies early so we can get our reviews written and ready to go, but now everything's under embargo, usually. Like Wrath of Man came out on Friday. I couldn't have my review posted till last Thursday at 6 p.m., even though I had seen it a couple days before,
Are they still doing embargo? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay Lee, I was here. Oh, my face was on last week. Where were you, kiddo?
Okay, Stephen. Now you could tell us about your trip to Spooky Empire, because you're the only person that I know, and I think the community might know, that actually has been to a convention since they reopened up. So
yeah, it's actually been a couple of years since I've actually been to one. Everything going on finally. But yeah, I mean, it was socially distanced and everything. We all had our masks on. A bunch of people, of course, were vaccinated. So, but I mean, it was great to get out again and actually do stuff like normal. Danielle was always nice as always. Warrington was there from Friday the 13th Part 2. Barry Bostwick, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Spin City, of course. So yeah, it was just pretty much a good time, just a party weekend, and hang out with some old friends and just do what we normally do when things are normal.
Now, how many people did? How many people could the convention place hold, and how many people actually came?
It was actually, of course, smaller. It seemed it was at the Wyndham. The next one they're going to be doing at the DoubleTree in Orlando in October. Spooky Empire, of course. It's going to be a larger venue. It didn't really seem like a lot of people normally come. I mean, there might be what 1,000, a couple. I mean, depending on the venue, but it was just an average one. I think it wasn't too big, so it got plenty of access to the guests and the pool parties and all the VIP stuff that we did. So.
Yes, I'm still here, everybody. I'm in the top left corner. That's me.
The moon.
So
over
I'm letting everybody else talk.
right
So
above me, right there.
I swear I'm right there. If you guys see when it makes a little like, that's me. Ha 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 ha. See, that's me.
But yeah,
All right, I'm sorry, Steven. Continue. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, the Q&As, we were spaced out, seat in between. Luckily, since I had VIP, I was front row center every time, so it was a good time.
Now, Christopher, now is this? Have you seen this with? Hold on, I'm still talking.
What's that?
Steve, I was going to ask you if I was going to ask you for movie screeners. Have you also, like, you've gone to a few early viewings? Have you been spaced out as well?
The only one that we've had in the last year that a press screening was Tenet. That's the only one that they had live people at in the last year was Tenet. And that they held at the Dome Theater at the Detroit Science Center. So they only allowed, I think it was the rep from Allied, the person that was working at the Science Center that day, because there was nobody else there. And then there was like me and 3 or 4 other writers. And now, watching a Christopher Nolan movie on that Dome Theater, it was really rough. It was hard to take all of that movie in that curvature. Yeah, but no, that was spaced out. The only other live one that we're having for press is Tuesday this week. I'm hoping I can still go. They're doing Spiral, the new Saw movie. So I'm supposed to go to that Tuesday.
All right.
Work might preclude me from getting there, though.
Yeah, I think everybody in our community here is looking forward to that. I mean, where do you, I hope I'm really curious. I mean, Darren Lynn Bousman is back, so that gives me a lot of faith.
I think that we have, this is a thing that Chris Rock pushed, and he's the one that got this thing made. He's the one that wanted to do this movie because he's such a big fan of the original series. And we've got Samuel L. Jackson in it too. I don't really think we're going to get a bad Saw movie from this cast.
No.
My problem with the Saw series is it just kept tapering off as we got to like Saw 4, and it just kept, everyone progressively got worse. And then there was that new one that was out 2 years ago. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah, Jigsaw.
Yeah, Jigsaw. And I went and saw that one, and like the first act, I'm like, oh wow, this is great. This is something different. And then it just went down that same rabbit hole with the police and, new mystery and da 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 da. It just got very repetitive as far as the Saw series went. So
hey Jay Lee, do you want a link? Do you want to come on live?
What happened to Steven?
Sure. I'm checking on him.
Okay.
do we lose him?
Yeah, I think we did.
You just sent me a message. You said he was mad at Cheetah for something.
Uh-oh.
Well,
You're in trouble now. Oh, there he is. I was looking for you. Didn't you see how?
I'm sorry.
Where'd he go? Hey.
I'm on my phone here, and I was trying to figure out how to type comments back. I can read, can't type, unfortunately. I'm like trying to sit out.
You're all good.
So anyway, people who are watching, I'm reading your comments. Unfortunately, I can't really try.
Okay. We're talking about the new Saw movie coming out.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I that is one I'm looking forward to because, like you said, I mean, I think it's highly anticipated. I think when someone really wants to do the movie, and I mean, they have, like you said, Chris Rock invested a lot of time, and to get it pushed, and I I have high hopes for it. And
Well,
Bowsman loves it.
and we know by now Chris Rock doesn't typically do bad movies. He's pretty selective about what projects he takes. So I don't think it's going to be bad. I think we'll probably get a little bit more repetition, but it's been a couple years again. Maybe they can do something refreshing with it.
Because the second Saw, that's the one that Darren Lynn Bousman came in on. That was like, extremely strong. It's just as strong as the first one was.
Agreed.
So and he also did another movie who I recommend, and no one really talks about too much. That movie he did called Avatar.
Which one?
Avatar.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
That movie is that's a rocker. That movie's a trip. That is a trip.
At first, I thought you said apple tar, like apple tartar sauce or something.
Yeah, I know.
I thought he said Avatar, and I'm like, that wasn't a horror movie.
Yeah.
I said, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Apple tar.
I sent it to you, Josh.
Apple tartar.
I know. I thought you were talking about Avatar first.
No. It's Avatar. It's ABBTOIR, Avatar. But Darren Lynn Bousman did that movie too. You have to watch that one, Josh.
Hey, I don't know if it's my connection or what, but it's like going as you're talking, and I don't know. I'm in trouble hearing you.
Oh, we hear it. It's always gonna be a little bit of a delay. It's like a 5 or 6 second delay.
Okay, because I'm hearing chatter, like. But
Yeah, I saw that. I just do you have your are you operating off of a camera or a phone?
my phone.
Okay, do you have YouTube sound up?
What was that?
Are you on YouTube as well?
No.
No? Okay. I was gonna say turn
It was
down the
working
sound.
fine.
Are you at the club?
Oh man.
It's like I screwed myself when I got out.
Are you at the club?
Let me try. I'm gonna leave again.
I think you should leave the club.
I'm not wanted. I'm sorry. Thanks for having me. Bye. I'll be back.
This is Wild Eye Guy 85 at the club.
What up? Tip your wait staff.
So, as far as the MovieSleuth goes, you guys are covering all sorts of media. What's your opinion about the physical media aspect of things? Have you noticed it tremendously? Have people commented to you about how it's slowly fading away?
I think the idea that physical media is going to go away is a complete and total myth. The people that I know that collect physical media are buying more physical media now than they ever have before. Physical media is not going anywhere.
It will not die.
It's not going to die. I mean, listen, guys, I've got like 8 arcade machines in my garage, and I told my wife, yeah, it's an arcade, but this summer I'm converting our garage into an old school video store. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm that guy. Okay. I went and picked up like 300 videotapes this last weekend. Why? Because physical media is never going to die. We love physical media. Look what's happening with vinyl. Okay. All CDs and audio, physical recordings are going away. We're not going to be able to buy them at the store anymore. Vinyl continues to be the biggest selling market share of music. Okay. Physical media isn't going anywhere. We have all these boutique places, these boutique publishers putting stuff out. Aerial Video, 88 Films, all of these different companies putting all this great retro horror stuff out and all these independent films out. Okay. We've got a video store in Florida Grindhouse Video. The guy is selling thousands and thousands of Blu-rays a month. He just had the Arrow Video Easter sale, and he's still sending Blu-rays out to people. He's that backlogged with orders. I think the idea that physical media is going to go away, it's a myth. It's a fear tactic. You know, like, we're speaking to people that really like to collect stuff, and we're telling them we're taking it away from you. It's not going anywhere. Nowhere.
Okay,
Absolutely nowhere.
Hey, quick question. Sorry to interrupt. The Grindhouse you were talking about, is that the website? I think I ordered from them some while and I went back on the site, and I think the site was shut down or something, and it said something about back order on DVDs. Is that who you're talking about?
I'm not sure. He might have been like backlogged on shipping stuff.
Oh,
because he's a 1 or 2 person operation. I actually went to his store 2 years ago, and it's like a mecca for horror. It's amazing. He has a whole VHS section. He has laser discs. He has a full room of used Blu-rays. He has another full room of all boutique horror and exploitation stuff. I'm just saying, if physical media was going away, we wouldn't have places like this. And collectors like myself and Michelle Kisner and Andrew Kotwicki and Jesse Barnes and all the people that write on the website with me, Kyle, we are all like huge proponents of physical media. And I can tell you, and you guys know this as well.
Oh yeah,
Us guys are into horror, dude. I don't want to watch it on streaming. Yeah, I'll watch stuff on Shudder. Sure, I'll watch stuff on Netflix or Amazon. But if I like that movie, if I watch it streaming and I'm like, ooh, that movie's badass, the next thing I'm doing is going on Amazon and I'm ordering a physical copy, because I want to support the filmmakers. I want to support the distributors. I want to, support the publishers and everybody that's involved with this. And I think that's even a little bit more of what's happening. I write for the MovieSleuth.com. Sorry, I just saw your question. But yes, physical media, it's not going anywhere. I know
these people all in the chat room here, they're all physical media collectors. That's one of the things we have in common. We all collect physical media, and we all love horror films.
Well, I can also say this about the physical media. If the physical media was going somewhere, would I be able to walk into the Dollar Tree and walk out with like 20 decent movies on Blu-ray? No. The market share is actually improving in some areas. Now the Dollar Tree is carrying boutique Blu-rays. Like, if they were going somewhere, you wouldn't be able to walk in there and buy that stuff. Yeah, I just think a couple websites heard this thing. It was like, I think it was Paramount that said, oh, we're not publishing, or we're not putting out physical media anymore. And everybody ran with that and ran all these articles about physical media is dying. It's dying. It's dead. It's not going to stay. And everybody freaked out. But that wasn't even what they were saying. They were saying that their physical media section of their company was shutting down. That's it. They're still going to be publishing media. They're just not going to be doing it themselves. Simple. Sorry.
No. That's a great answer, because I mean, I know I saw that it was Warner Brothers did that, and they're saying how they're closing on the archive and they're moving their business to strictly Amazon. And I guess what I'm seeing now is, like, before you could actually have a chance to, go looking for a physical media copy and buy it for a good price. I think what I'm hearing now is that they're going to made on demand only, and you're not going to be able to necessarily walk up there and get it off the shelf of a Best Buy anymore. I do think that the prices will be higher than normal, and I don't think there's going to be quite as many sales, because why? They're especially with made on demand, it's like they control the market.
They'll be able to demand more for actual Blu-ray copies or 4K copies. Yeah. But again, honestly, I don't give two shits. If a movie is going to be $10 more for me to buy, guess what? I'm going to spend the extra $10 to buy it, because I want that movie in my collection, and I want to be able to walk down into my home theater down here in my, how many ever thousands of Blu-rays I have. And I want that slipcover. I want that physical tangible product in my hand, because it's the same thing as when we were going to the video store when we were kids. We want to look at the cover art. We want to respect those artists. We want that physical thing in our hand that makes it real for us. And streaming doesn't do that. It just doesn't do that. You know, how many hours do you spend like browsing through Shudder or any of these streaming services? You can sit there for hours and just browse. You know what? I can walk onto my wall down here and be like, oh my God, that box art. Oh, I'm popping this bad boy in right now. It's a totally different thing.
I know everybody in our chat, they totally can relate to that answer. They're all. I can see. I can literally look over there and see everybody in here and see them shaking their head with you, like they do. What's it like for you, Steven? I mean, you're a collector. What's it like for you? I mean, when you order movies, I mean, what's the feeling you get when you order?
I mean, I love my physical collection. I mean, I too stream every now and then, but I mean, if the internet goes out, I can still watch my movies. That's another
exactly,
perk of it, you know. And I mean, when Blockbuster and stuff were still around, Video Plus, when I was in elementary, a video store I used to go to all the time. I loved going in there, you know, checking out the posters, the VHS covers, and, you know, hoping maybe the movie will be as good as the cover, you know, when you're younger, like, oh, this is awesome. I want this movie. I got to watch it, you know, so.
I think the other thing that's going to happen is, and I've actually been looking at a store myself. Well, I'll mention Grindhouse Video again. Boutique, you know, I could walk in there, like I got a signed copy of Found. The director signed it. Okay.
Great movie,
it's great movie. A terrifying movie, horrifying movie, but awesome movie. Very creative. You know, everything about that movie is just totally rad. And, you know, I got the signed copy by the director for like $25. You know, we need more of that. We need to be cultivating that because it's part of the culture of cinema. And I've been actually looking at a store over here on the east side in Gratiot that I've been considering buying to open an actual boutique vinyl and movie store myself, because I think it's going to be the exact same thing, the same shift that we saw with vinyl, how like all of a sudden, like everybody wanted vinyl. It became this thing, this new collector's thing. The same thing's going to happen with video. People want to go to a video store. That's all there is to it.
I think so too. I think
I sleep with my movies. I don't know if you guys do, but I sleep with my movies. If it's a nice boutique label, if it's a nice bag, I just fucking sleep with it. I mean, I really love my movies a lot.
Do you bring the lube with you? Yeah.
No, I think with Family Video, I think the mistake they made with their stores, obviously, to me, with Family Video was not only did they not have that big of a selection, but I mean, they just never really kept what they got in really sharp condition. I mean, it was like doom and gloom to go in some of those stores.
True story, though. Like, I'm considering upgrading a lot of my stuff to boutique labels because I love the boutique labels. They're so like you get everything with them, and I'm if I got to spend $15 more, like I'm almost down for it. Even though I have 4 other versions of that same film, I'm almost down for it.
Well, and that's the other thing with people like us. They have a captive audience. We're massive double dippers. You know, seriously. There's so many. How many times have I bought Star Wars on Blu-ray? Like 5, and now like 2 different 4K releases. There's certain movies I'm going to buy over and over and over and over again. They've got their hooks in us, so just keep putting the shit out because we'll buy it. Yeah, seriously. I spit on your grave. I'm sorry. I'll get off my pedestal in a minute. I spit on your grave. There's been, I think, somewhere between 4 to 6 different Blu-ray versions of that movie, and guess what? I own every single one of them because I love the movie. I love the movie, and I respect that it came at a time that we needed some female empowerment in cinema, and they changed the game, you know, but I just love the movie too. So I buy it repeatedly. Every time there's a new one, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get that copy now too, because there's something better on there.
I just want to say good night, Jason. Thank you for showing up and supporting us.
Have a good night, Jason.
See you, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you about the boutique thing. I mean, it's yeah, I mean, that's like another thing that most of these folks here are they're boutique labeled. They collect from Arrow and the '88 films. I'm still doing the ISC thing myself.
Yeah, because you really enjoy those a lot.
Yeah, everybody here knows how much too. I get a lot of but I'm not alone, thank God. There's the guy
No,
who just
dude.
left, the guy who just left, Jason. Yeah, he and I we talk a lot of ISC. We're the fanatics.
IFC puts out a lot of great stuff. They really do.
I love it. It's hard to tell though. It's the only thing. That's the only thing I've never been able to do. I've never been able to get a contact from them for review purposes. Never have.
We've got some stuff from them, but it's sparse.
Yeah.
You know, if they really want a push on their stuff, then we'll get it.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much marketing they want behind it.
Yeah.
So here's kind of my dilemma with it. It's like, do I keep all of the other formats that I have it on, or do I upgrade? But then I like the cover art differently. Even though it might be one difference on a movie, I like the cover art differently. Or I like something, there's a feature there that I need to have on them. It's like, it's crazy.
Well, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Remember that we had got that cover, the anniversary. There wasn't really anything different besides the cover, but it was still awesome, and I have that copy too.
Well, remember when Walmart and Best Buy wrote out those retro horror films like Carrie and Killer Clowns from Outer Space with those new covers on it?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody went out there and bought the same movie.
Well, what's funny is when they put those out, Best Buy put out the exact same cover art in steelbooks, and it was like Carrie, The Other Side of the Door, Victor Frankenstein. There's like 10 of them. And like I saw that kind of crazy like graffiti art with the faces melting and all the different stuff on them. Yeah. I went and grabbed all of them, and I already had all of them on Blu-ray. But I'm like, hell, that cover art's amazing. I'm gonna buy them.
Yeah. I actually bought Carrie at the Dollar Tree.
Oh yeah, they did have that one, didn't they?
Yeah. They had that. They had Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I think not Return of the Night of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a ton of them. But
well, it's a good thing though. It's a good thing that it seems like more and more. I mean, there's a lot of entertainment sites online on the internet on the internet. See what I mean about Marvel? There's a lot of video sites or video websites like yourself. What makes the MovieSleuth stand out from the others, Chris?
I think the premise started out really strong from the beginning. When I started the site, it was like 10 years ago, and it was kind of around the time that The Walking Dead was hitting. And that was the point where the internet was kind of blowing up and people and like social media stuff, and people were complaining about spoilers. Spoilers had become a big thing, and everybody was pissed all over Facebook and Twitter about don't spoil my movies for me. Don't spoil my TV shows for me. So when I started the site 10 years ago, roundabout, the premise was I want to do nothing but spoiler-free movie reviews. So I started it out, and most of my reviews were like 12, 14, maybe 16 sentences. They weren't very long, maybe a paragraph, maybe two. And people actually were like, wow, like movie reviews with really no spoilers. So then we started adding on writers, and then, we set a word limit. It had to be like 600 or 800 words per review for a movie review. And the Facebook page started to grow, and then it was figuring out how to maximize that growth through, grassroots ad revenue streams, things like that. And that's kind of what blew it up a little bit more. But we've been very, very strong on our pursuit of the spoiler-free movie review. So if you read any of our reviews, we don't give away plot points. We don't tell you what happens. Where so many critics really give you a plot overview. I mean, the majority of critics out there, when you read their reviews, like if you go to rollingstone.com or you go to variety.com and you read a movie review, most of those writers, and I'm not bashing on anybody, it's just their style, but a lot of them are not critical reviews. A lot of those reviews are actually them just telling you, hey, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and blah, 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 blah. And then I liked the movie. It was pretty good. Now here's my 3 or 4 or 5 stars. Our reviews don't do any of that. We try to break down more or less the artistic merit of the films and run with that. And, you know, we talk about the directing and the production values and the actors and, you know, a little bit of history behind the people that are involved in the film, things like that, versus telling people this is what happened in the movie, because nothing pisses me off more than, oh, there's an early review of, let's say, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And, you know, reading the plot from front to back. I don't need that. I want to know, was the movie good or was the movie not? And yes, I can make that critical consensus myself, but there's some reviewers that I respect out there, and I don't want to read a plot overview. I want a critical analysis. So that is kind of kitty.
Yeah.
I more or less have stayed pretty strict with the spoiler-free thing. It's got to be that way because the front page of the website says no spoilers, no nonsense. And that's really kind of what we do. And I think it gives us a personality. And also it allows us to add a little bit of artistry to our reviews, because writing a review with no spoilers is actually much harder than people think. That's why so many of them, so many reviews have a plot synopsis or overview, because they don't know how to fill in the spaces. So they're just going to tell you the story. Ours is really like, I want to write about this movie and what I think about this director and this actor. And if the movie's shit, we're going to tell you the movie's shit too. So it's a lot of fun. It can be frustrating at times because sometimes there's things you want to say, but you can't. And it's still respecting those boundaries in the confines of what we set out to do.
Yeah, because you guys, I mean, you got to really think about it. I mean, I consider you guys like a legitimate news source, and so you know, your standards are a lot more. I guess they're higher than, you know, like what you have, how far you can go, and what you can say. It's probably a lot more. It's a lot more, you know. I don't know. You get to
constrictive,
a finer line. I think
it's very constricting, but at the same time, you got to find a way to tell people if it's good or bad. And that can take some really creative workarounds in writing, which luckily for us, we've got some very strong writers. The majority of the writers are really, really good. And most of them are pretty respected in the film community now. So, you know, we've got a couple writers that have gotten onto Rotten Tomatoes now, myself not included.
Yeah, me either.
What are you going to do? You know?
Brad, Bronco Juggalo, he wrote, sometimes you have to discuss spoilers to truly review the film. However, you should give a warning. And if it's a 30-year-old, you know, or if it's a 30-year-old,
if it's like an older film or like, A Promising Young Woman, our writer Dawn did an additional write-up on the film, and yes, she did include spoilers, but at the beginning of the article, you know, she put a little thing like, hey, you probably already seen this movie, but there are going to be spoilers in this. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't read ahead. Yes, and the same thing. If a movie's 30 years old, most of the time, okay, there's going to be some spoilers in there, but we think everybody can pretty much figure out for themselves that it's mainly meant for new reviews, stuff that just came out, you know.
Right. Common sense.
The latest episode of The Walking Dead. I'm not going to tell you what boring thing happened on The Walking Dead this week because that show's terrible. But yeah, so that's the kind of thing we're going for. We don't want to ruin stuff for people that is brand new and they haven't had a chance to experience it for themselves yet. And it's a respect thing. It's a respect for everybody involved. You know, we want to respect everybody's right to get out there and see what's brand new without us wrecking it for you. And I think when, people get on Facebook and troll and shit on new stuff by putting spoilers out right away, I kind of want to jump through the screen and strangle somebody.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't get that. I mean, it seems like a thing. It seems like a thing to do now. A lot of people just do like, well, they do like real reaction videos and all that shit like that. That just drives me nuts. It's like, why are you reacting to something we're all going to see? I mean, we're all going to see the movie, but I don't necessarily think anybody here is going to want to see, me sitting there going like, oh my God, no one cares.
Yeah. And we get the people that are like, oh, you guys just think you're better than everybody else, or, critics suck and critics this and critics that. Well, here's the thing, guys. Like, we do this for fun too. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. It's a really cool hobby because we get free movies in the mail every week. We get to go to screenings all the time when COVID's not happening. It's supposed to be fun for us the same way that watching movies is supposed to be fun. So that's the other thing too. People need to like chill out. And this whole thing, critics are getting paid to give a good review. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Do you see payola?
No.
I mean, have you ever been approached by anybody to get paid for your review?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I have. And I told the person, like, we were doing like a paid thing on like Fiverr when Fiverr went up, like, we'll promote your movie, blah, 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 blah. And somebody approached me on Fiverr and we had something set up on there for like 50 or $60. And it was for like, indie film review, and the guy sent me the movie and we ravaged it. Like, we just destroyed his film. And he actually wrote me an email and said, you know what? I totally appreciate that. I can respect the fact that this was supposed to be like a paid promotion thing. And you guys you got paid for it. You got paid for the promo, but you didn't like, sell yourself out because of money. You still gave my movie a shitty review. So thank you. He realized that it wasn't the greatest film ever. And he appreciated the fact that we actually took the time and reviewed it honestly. And I think that's a thing that's lacking right now. Everybody needs to be more honest with themselves, and also realize that movies are meant to be fun. TV is supposed to be fun. So enjoy yourselves.
Brad mentions, even I've been accused of that because of the companies I work with do reviews for them, and nothing could be further from the truth. If it sucks balls, I say so.
Yeah, and you have to. You have to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, if it's a, I do it a little differently. If it's a movie I know when I watch it's going to be dog shit. A lot of times I will not do a review because I already know it's dog shit going in. And to me, I don't think there's anything constructive I can really add to it. I always try to look for at least one. I mean, do you feel the same way, Steven? I mean, how about in the chat? When you guys review movies, do you always look for that one silver line through it? I mean, it could be a bad movie, but if there's an outstanding performance, or maybe the makeup, maybe the special effects were great. Maybe there was a location. There's something about the movie that, while the movie itself sucked, there's something there that makes it worthwhile to recommend.
Right.
And I've done that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some movies where like the gore was pretty good, but the acting might not be as good. It has its ups and downs on each one, and whatever sucks, I'll flat out say it. You know that from what was that movie again, Patrick? I forgot. That he tortured me.
Man, this is almost becoming the new. Okay, so yeah, but that's a badass cover. I would buy that. I would buy that poster. That is. I would buy that poster too. Bigfoot versus zombie, Chris.
Hey, you know what? It sounds awesome.
It does, and it looks.
There's probably something good about it. Yeah, no. I see. Somebody said they've never seen a movie without something good in it. I've seen multiple probably hundreds at this point that have been mailed to us, or digital screeners that have just been absolute horrifying pieces of poop. And, you know, sometimes you just can't find anything good. But you got to be honest. You got to be honest about it, because you know what? I can give you a really poor review and we can rip on your movie all day long, and we're only being honest, and we're being honest with you too. And you know what? Maybe that bit of constructive criticism makes them a better filmmaker, you know?
There's a difference between constructive criticism and just shitting on something.
Yes, totally.
I generally don't. I've never really done that to any of my reviews. Maybe like less than 5 that I've actually just like, oh hell no, just
ravaged.
No.
I destroyed one, and people were
or something like that. And these folks here, they do all these video reviews and whatnot, and they do the same thing. I mean, you know, no one's here wants to shit on anybody's work.
No, I think the the worst one for me was the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I hate that movie. I don't like that series at all. I went to see it and I came home and I was in a bad mood because that movie it irked me. I was just like, this is just terrible. Oh, dude, yes. This is my guy here. Rob Zombie's H2 is one of the worst pieces of dung on the face of the planet. Thank you. Anyway, Fantastic Beasts, the first one, I came home and I wrote my review in like a rage, and people were actually angry about it. Like, I got hate mail about that review, and I'm like, it's just me though. I'm not telling you can't like it. Go like it if you want. I just thought it was terrible.
I always say, you know, it's just like a critic. A critic is just, it's all it is. Really is just an opinion. It's all it is. I don't. Yeah. I like when I hear about Rotten Tomatoes and like Rotten, you know, I don't really give sites like that too much credence, because it's just a review is just one person's point of view. I don't see how it should influence what you think or how you should feel about a film.
Well, another thing is a lot of people don't realize how Rotten Tomatoes works. They think it's a website, but really it's a review aggregator, and it's just taking everybody's reviews and aggregating those numbers and coming up with a count. So people get mad at Rotten Tomatoes, like, oh, they gave a low score or a high score or this or that. Yeah, that's not Rotten Tomatoes giving that score. It's all the critics that are authorized critics on Rotten Tomatoes that come up with that score as it's manipulated or
totaled. It's a collective.
Yeah. I do want to comment on Rob Zombie's H2 again.
Please do.
It's terrible. I mean, it's Rob Zombie is not a good filmmaker. He isn't. He has to sideline his wife into everything. Sherry Moon can't act. I think the only good movies he's ever done were House of 1,000 Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. The third one was me and Andrew Kotwicki. We went to go see it together, and it was just god awful. We couldn't believe how terrible that movie was. But yet Rob Zombie he just needs to stop, please. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a zombie fan. I mean, I just picked up both Halloween films though, so I've never seen his two versions. So
the first one's really good. It's a worthwhile remake for sure. But when you get into 2 and there's
Scout and them, they were even saying during the Q&A, like they didn't get the unicorn as like Rob's artistic, and they changed so much stuff in the script. They said they were reshooting and so much stuff was being changed, and they were even confused by it at times when they were working on it.
Well, yeah, when you've got magical horses and the mom coming back in a dream sequence, and it's Sherry Moon, she is unwatchable. She really is. She just grates on me. And what was the other thing about that movie? Oh, Michael Myers looks just like Rob Zombie. He's like this big, tall dude with dreadlocks. And I'm like, so basically Michael Myers is Rob Zombie walking around in public killing people now. No.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. Not my movie. Yeah.
No. What's the best movie you personally seen? What are like your top 5 favorite movies since you started the sleuth?
Oh man. Oh yeah, Bill Moseley, dude. I actually interviewed Bill Moseley a couple of years ago. Great guy. Man, that's a hard question. I think Cloud Atlas was one of them because that's like in my top 10 probably. Man, I really can't think of it. Oh, last year the Dark and the Wicked.
Oh,
amazing horror film. That was I think like a 5-er for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. Dark and the Wicked.
Yeah, you'll dig it, dude. You will dig it for sure. Yeah, if you like the IFC style horror, it's just like slow burn, like unhinged evil, and you don't really know any reason why. It's one of those horror movies where everything just happens in the darkness. You know, you're not really ever seeing a demon or a monster. It's just like purified evil on film, and you don't really know exactly what's going on. And we've always said on our podcast, Real Crime, we talk about a lot of horror. Like we did the full Friday the 13th series. We did the full Nightmare on Elm Street series. We did all the Halloween movies, all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Those would be like multiple week episodes where we'd one Wednesday do, the first half, and then the next Wednesday do the second half. I totally forgot where I'm going with this, but we've always said what exists in the darkness is scarier than what you're shown in a lot of these horror movies. And that's kind of what the Dark and the Wicked is. You really don't know what's going on. It's just scary as shit. So strong suggest there.
All right.
Because you've talked to probably a lot of people. What makes the core horror franchises, in your opinion, what makes them so? Why do they last so long? Why do they last so long? Like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, Friday the 13th. I mean, nobody has really ever come up to nearly that success in the last 30 years as far as making a new franchise, a horror franchise. Why do you think those do so well?
I think number one is nostalgia. I think that every time we get a new entry in a Friday the 13th or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, those series that kicked off in the late 70s, early 80s, I think nostalgia is probably the primary factor. And I think every time one of those comes out, I personally feel like we auto connect to those. And every time we're kind of told, this is the next coming of this franchise. This is going to be as good as the first one. They know how to tease us. They know how to hook their, little hooks into us and get us interested. And then it's like every single time we go, it never lives up to the original. But I do think they really play that nostalgia card repeatedly, and they know how to suck us in. Like, there's a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming out. Okay. I believe Fade Alvarez is doing it. And, it's just being called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it's being advertised and promoted as the first real direct sequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So immediately, all of us, if you guys are fans like I am, we're thinking, oh, sweet. Like, this is going to be a direct sequel. Maybe it'll look the same. Maybe it'll have that weird, coloration, that orange hue to it, that grit and that dirty feel. And I think that, they got us. They just got us because they're like, oh, it's going to be like the original. So we go repeatedly. And then every time we're disappointed, and nothing's ever going to live up to those.
I'm in the top left-hand corner, Rick.
All right, chat. I mean, is there any questions? Does anybody have any questions for our Christopher before he has to leave? Feel free to toss them into the chat.
I got a few more minutes.
Oh, okay, great. I knew it. I told you you would last longer than an hour.
I'll hang for another half hour if that's cool. I'm
No,
good.
that's fine. No, that's
Cool.
awesome. I was hoping you would. Pretty much all of our guests have done that. I always say, we'll do an hour and then we'll just take it from there. And pretty much everybody's always stayed because we have a really a smart and informative chat. I mean, all these guys here, they know just about everybody in that chat here. They know more about a lot of this shit than I do. So, but I just like asking the question.
Yeah.
Steven, do you have any questions you want to ask?
What would you say to anyone in here that wants to get into movie reviews? If they're just getting into it, what's the best advice that you would give them?
Oh man, that's a good question. It's a hard one. I think number one, make sure your writing's up to snuff, because if it isn't, people are going to call you out. Make sure your grammar and your punctuation and your spelling is good, because a lot of people get into writing and then they find out when they start getting comments like, dude, you need to learn to spell. I think that's a big part of it is, and maybe it's not the right way to put it, but maybe sounding a little more intelligent than you are, if that makes sense.
Right.
Make sure that what you read is legible. And the biggest suggestion I would say with that part is, when you're developing your writing, make sure that you do not write how you talk. Because if you write how you talk, like if I was writing down what I was saying right now, it would look like total ass in a review. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people write exactly how they talk, and then I go into edit it and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? It's a mess.
So this is
not that I'm the greatest writer out there, but that's kind of one suggestion.
There's a reason why I've never been on the MovieSleuth. No one's ever. He's never asked me for a review. There you go.
Other suggestions, develop a thick skin. I think that is the actual best suggestion I can say, because anything that you put out there in the public eye, especially if you're publishing it to Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, there's going to be some dude or some girl or somebody out there that is going to tear you up and down, no matter what you do. Anything you do in the public eye, whether it's music, writing, video work, you're an action star. Somebody is going to find a way to tear you down. So make sure that you're working on that skin, getting it a little bit thicker, because I've had it happen. I've written reviews or made a commentary on something and people have torn me up and down. And at the beginning, I let it get to me. Now I don't, because now I'm just like, hey, you know what? The person cared enough to comment. They cared enough to read the review. I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to comment back. I'm not going to let them troll anymore, because once you comment back, they know they've got you and they can run you up and down. So thick skin, proper writing.
Chadwick has asked. He asked a question. He asked, "Who in the business inspired you to get into this? Who was your inspiration to start this group?"
Nobody really. It was just me sitting on the couch one night and seeing, me and my wife had watched The Walking Dead or something, and I went on Facebook. I keep mentioning Facebook because we know it's a way of life now. I was like, oh, I need to start something. I need to start writing about movies, because I've always been a big movie buff. And I was like, I want to write about movies and TV and not spoil things for people. So I just did it that night, just created a little blog. My wife was blogging almost full time. She was actually getting paid to blog for a few years there. And so she kind of inspired me, because she was really active in the blogging field for a while. And she was having really great success with it for a little bit before she kind of got out of it due to a few health issues and other things that were going on. So actually, I guess I can say my wife inspired me to do it, which is kind of cool, Yeah,
that's sort of like me. My wife inspired me to do it.
Yeah. There's no real critics. Like, a lot of people look up to a lot of professional critics. There's nobody that I really aspire to be, or anybody that I read on the regular. I just kind of enjoy putting my voice out there. And I personally enjoy providing a voice for 26 or 27 other people to write to, because we've got about 28 writers now. Some of them are active, some of them aren't, some of them come and go, but it's kind of cool having a place where people can feel that they're represented and their voice is respected. So
it's weird. It's like I have never really pushed I've never really pushed my stuff on another site. Like you and I, we've been friends for many years, but
oh yeah,
I have never asked you to let me write. I sort of like, because I like that creative control. I like doing keeping my own voice. I think that's probably egotistical.
No, it's not. It's not, because if it's your vision and that's how you want things, then that's the best way to do things.
I mean, the smart thing to do would actually try to get on a bigger site to have more people see what you're writing and express it.
But I think too, when you do that, when you go to another site, you are giving up a little bit of control. I do have an open door policy. A lot of the writers will message me, hey, is it cool if I write a review about this? Or do you think I should do this? Or do you think I should do that? And I always tell everybody, you know what, if you're inspired to write about it, write about it. I don't care. You could interview your grandmother and be like, I want to put this on the site. And I'd be like, you know what, that's pretty cool. You're going to interview your grandma on a movie review site. Have at it. We have a very open policy. I don't ever tell anybody no. I'm a yes man. If somebody is inspired or feels like they want to write about a movie or a TV show or do an original piece, like Kyle just did an original piece on detective films, go ahead. It helps everybody. It's more content out there. It builds the name. It builds the brand, builds the traffic, the whole deal. So totally open door. Do what you want.
So I do have a fun thing that the chat here can get into this as well. Today's Mother's Day, as everybody knows. I'm sure everybody have fun with their moms, those that could. So what are their 5 favorite screen moms? It can be horror, it can be comedy, it can be whatever. But what are five moms on movie moms that stand out with you?
Oh geez. Well, I posted, Norma Bates earlier. Best movie mom of all time.
Okay.
The mom from Throw Mama from the Train.
Oh, okay.
Anne Ramsey, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that an 80s film?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's
other good movie moms. Mommy Dearest.
Oh God,
we actually did a Mother's Day episode of Real Crime like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, it wouldn't have been last year. It was the year before. So I would think those are my top 3. Jo Beth Williams, Poltergeist.
Okay. How about you, Steven?
That is a mom there.
Let's see. Kathleen Turner, Serial Mom. Was a good one.
Hell yeah.
The mom from the Goldbergs. I mean, I couldn't imagine having a mom like that in your face all the time, stalking at school. Let's see. Goldberg's mom. Let's see. We'll go with Jason's mom, too.
All right.
Mrs. Voorhees.
Yes. Kills for Mummy. Let's see. Good mothers. I guess those are my 3 right there. I might have to get back on any others, but.
How about you, Hobbs? I know you're listening.
Norma Arnold from The Wonder Years.
Okay.
Hobbs.
Norma Arnold.
Okay, I thought he was there with us. He's Hobbs loves the 80s, so I'm sure he would come up with 3 80s moms.
He just said The Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Norma Arnold from The Wonder Years.
I think she's going to be all 5.
Yeah. Let's see.
Norma Arnold from The Wonder Years.
I'm sure Joe the Horror Man sitting over there going like, "Damn it, he took my pick." See, Norma Arnold.
Norma Arnold was in Roseanne. She was definitely in Roseanne.
Mm-hmm. Uh, let's see. Let's see.
Oh, I forget her name, but the
no,
mom from Don't
Are we
Stop or
talking
My
just
Mom Will
horror?
Shoot.
Are we talking just horror?
no, give
No,
me
anything.
anyone. Any
Oh
mom.
shit. Oh yeah. I love Alice, who played Alice in the TV show Alice.
Oh, Linda Lavin. Okay.
Linda Lavin. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
a good mom. I'm in a weird TV show trend, guys. It's
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching a lot of classic TV shows. And again, I'm not putting years to it. I'm just saying classic TV shows. Let's see here.
Every week we have to remind people that Hobbs he's the last person in America that hasn't seen Happy Days yet.
It's true. I'm trying to find it still. So
No
did I mention
problem,
Norma
brother.
Arnold from The Wonder Years?
Um, what I guess for me I put down I put mine a little bit more horror oriented because I thought it'd be a little bit more twisty. I put Norma Bates too, but which one? Anthony
Good pick.
Perkins
Solid pick.
Norma was it Anthony Perkins or Vera Farmiga? Because either one could have been there. Either one was pretty good.
Rebecca De Mornay from Mother's Day, of course.
I have Rebecca De Mornay from Rock the Cradle. The hand that
We should
rocked the
have her
cradle.
from Mother's Day as well, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was in the Mother's Day remake.
Yeah, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. I put
She really is Joe. She really is Joe.
She who was gosh, who was who played her? Wasn't it oh, Hobbs would know this, Joe would know this. Who was the actress that played her?
That played who?
Who played Norma on the Wonder Years? I forgot.
I can't remember her name right now.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I put Margaret White from Carrie.
Oh Jesus!
No
pun intended.
Yeah, and of course I put Pamela Voorhees, and then I put Sophia from A Dark Song.
That's right, Allie Mills. I thought it was Haley, but it's Allie Mills.
See, I thought well, there was a Juliet Mills but she was a nanny. She wasn't a mother, but she was.
I've got a great one.
Okay.
Becky from Full House. Oh yeah.
Delicious.
Which one's Becky? Is that Candace Bure?
Huh?
No, Lori Loughlin.
Lori Loughlin. Yeah.
Or Loughlin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I never watched Full House, so.
Or as her friends call her now, Prison Time.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I heard. You know what she said about prison, though, right? She said it's going to be a full house.
Oh.
Oh man.
At least she doesn't have to worry about the soap.
It's even a fuller house.
So what's coming up for the summer that you guys are looking forward to? I mean, as far as movie wise, what are you looking forward to seeing, Chris?
I don't even know really what's coming out because I've kind of like fallen off the radar a little bit with it, and so much stuff is going to streaming and theater at the same time. So I would actually have to kind of look down a list to really tell you what I'm excited about. I was excited for Wonder Woman 84. I was excited for Godzilla versus Kong. I was excited for Mortal Kombat. In all three of them, I mean, Mortal Kombat was probably the best because it delivered some gore. And I think it kind of did have some of the video game elements to it. But almost all three of those movies that were supposed to just be huge and great and so entertaining, they all kind of let me down. So right now, I'm just kind of keeping my expectations a little more cautious. I'm not really too excited about anything right now, to be totally honest.
Joe says he's looking forward to Ramiro's The Amusement Park, and I'm looking for Godzilla versus King Kong. That's actually going to get a really fast turnaround, Joe. They're releasing that, I believe. I want to say June. I want to say June 15th.
Yeah, I think it's the middle of June. I mean, Cruella looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Yeah, Fast and the Furious, I've just kind of given up on.
Yeah. No interest.
Yeah, no interest at all. I know Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming out, but I think that's in the fall. Yeah, I mean,
that looks really interesting.
Conjuring the Devil made me do it.
Yeah, I think that's in the fall. It's just, I mean, Candyman. The next Candyman. I'm actually really looking forward to that because I think they're going to nail that one for sure. But I just can't really. I'm looking down a list here. I was looking forward to Black Widow, but it's been pushed back so many times now that I'm just not that excited. And I'm so burned out on Marvel right now. And I'm not that guy either. I've actually been a big fan of the Marvel movies for the most part, but I just feel like they've moved into TV territory now. And I think the TV shows have been a little bit better as far as character development goes. So I'm not really that excited for any of it. I will tell you one, Army of the Dead. That I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that sounds really promising.
Well, because we know by now Zack Snyder knows how to do zombies because his Dawn of the Dead is probably one of the best remakes ever. So, and I know a lot of people hate Zack Snyder, but I think Army of the Dead is going to be really, really good.
Why do people hate Zack Snyder? I don't understand that.
I think a lot of people think he's like a prima donna and, egotistical and, too into himself and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Honestly, like Zack Snyder is one of my favorite directors. I have liked every movie he's done, even Sucker Punch. I adore that movie because it wasn't just like a straightforward narrative. He actually tried to do something different with the comic book style, even though it wasn't based on an actual comic book. And I also like the fact I've always been a big fan of female lead characters, starting with Ellen Ripley. I think that she kind of changed the whole thing for women in film, because without Ripley, we don't really have, Princess Leia and all these other really strong female characters. So, I like Zach. I like almost everything he does. I've never had a problem with any of it. And Watchmen is like definitely in my top 10 movies of all time, in probably my number one comic book movie of all time, because it really does respect the source material. So yeah, I would say I'm really looking forward to Army of the Dead. Oh, and Dune. I'm looking forward to Dune as well.
Brad wants to know about Mortal Kombat and Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong were great. What was your expectations for both those movies?
Well, with Godzilla versus Kong, I went in with that one, expectations lowered right off the bat. I thought it would have been a little bit better, and I kind of felt like with Adam Wingard at the helm, he's done some really cool horror stuff. The Guest, for instance, I thought that maybe bringing that type of director into somebody that's done smaller character studies and smaller horror, more independent features, I thought putting him in the realm of a massive budget, he might be able to kind of rein in some of it and give it a little bit more character. And instead it went the opposite way. It just got dumber by the minute. And the whole thing of them going into the, the Middle Earth thing with Kong, it just got super silly. And, these are supposed to be monsters that exist in our reality. And yes, it's not real. And yes, I understand it's fiction, but they went so fantastical with it that it lost my attention. Once they started doing that weird stuff with the spaceships and flying into the middle of the earth or the core of the earth or whatever it was, I can't even remember anymore. It just got too silly for me. And then much like the first Godzilla movie, where we waited the whole movie to see Godzilla. And then when Godzilla shows up, he's in like this hour and 40-minute movie for maybe like 15 or 16 minutes. It was the same thing with Godzilla versus Kong. There wasn't enough. I wanted to see, mixed in with some of that character study that I expected from Adam Wingard, I wanted to see some better battles and a little more detail in why or how this is happening. And I think they skipped a lot of that. So, again, it's opinion. And then Mortal Kombat, it's a fine line with that one too, because I think they got some of the video game stuff right. But if you compare the Mortal Kombat we got to the Mortal Kombat we got in the 90s, the 90s Mortal Kombat is actually a much better representation of the video game. And the movie in the 90s also tried to develop a mythology around those characters, and there was some semblance of story to it. This Mortal Kombat just seemed like, okay, we're just going to not enough interesting science and science fiction nowadays. You hit that right, the nail on the head with that one, because that's kind of where I'm at with it. I was on Mortal Kombat. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought now. Mortal Kombat, it just didn't live up to the expectations again. And they kept saying like, oh, this movie's gonna be great. This is the biggest, best thing ever, blah, 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 blah. And I think that what they did with Mortal Kombat previously, not with Annihilation, the second one, because we had, role switching and all that different stuff going on with it. I just think the original Mortal Kombat film got it right. And I think the new Mortal Kombat was just too fast. They never got to the combat they were supposed to do. Weren't they? They're supposed to go to like some tournament, the Mortal Kombat tournament or whatnot. They just never got there.
I think because they're planning a trilogy, but I think you're right in a sense that it's dangerous to sit there and assume that you're going to get your second and third movie. I mean, because if you come out, especially now, I mean that's a huge gamble. That's a huge
for Sub-Zero,
gamble.
the guy who plays Sub-Zero was saying, I guess he did a tweet on Twitter saying that he was signed on for 4 if it does well.
He signed on for 5. He signed on for 5.
Oh, okay.
He won, and he signed on for 4 more.
Okay.
So people are kind of thinking right now the next thing they're probably going to do is a Sub-Zero prequel, which would be really cool, because then we're actually going to get to see a little bit about what made him Sub-Zero.
Right.
And no, you're right. Bronco Juggalo, maybe I am reading too much into it. Totally understand. You can feel that way. No love lost for you. Total respect. I just think when you take a director like Adam Wingard, who has this really cool independent resume, and you throw him into that big budget movie, they should have been like, you know what? We hired him for this reason. We brought him into this movie because we liked what he did before. So let's let you do that with this movie. What's the reason of having all these really good actors there, Millie Bobby Brown and Vera and all these other people, and not letting them do anything? If you have good actors, you should use them to full effect and make the movie more dramatic and give it a little bit of character. But again, that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I with Kong versus Godzilla, the problem I had with it was I just wanted to see more daylight fights. That's my biggest problem with those movies. Everything happens at night, and I'm just like, dude, why can't we have fucking daylight fights?
Well, because they wanted to get to that big battle, the Nicholas Winding Refn battle at the end with all the fluorescent blues and reds. That's what it was all about. You know, they wanted to get to that scene. So, and it looked amazing. The fight was great, you know, and Mechagodzilla was cool as shit too. I mean, there's good things about the movie.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
I mean, the fact that it, what I'm really happy about is, I'm just glad it did so well. I mean, glad it came back because, I mean, I think it still opens the door for possibilities. Of course, my big thing is I'm crossing my fingers for is I want to see a Godzilla Pacific Rim crossover.
yes, I would love that.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm holding my breath for that.
I think the other problem that we saw with Godzilla versus Kong and with like Mortal Kombat, it's the same problem that Warner Brothers applied to Zack Snyder's DC movies. There's too much studio interference. Yeah. They're not letting directors direct. They're not letting creators create. It's all the money men.
Yeah.
You know,
I was going to mention that. That was part of the reason why it was off kilter was because of their studio interference.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I mean, Zack Snyder is a competent director. He doesn't need anybody looking over his shoulder.
No.
But of course, with $200 million invested, I can understand it. But it's like, listen, if you're confident enough that you hired him, then be confident to let him deliver a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. You hire these people for a reason. You cut them a multi-million-dollar paycheck. They're the director. They're there to create. They are there to direct. They're there to make a product. And, you know, maybe they should care a little bit more about the artistry than only the money. Because if you add a little bit of artistry in there as well, you might actually end up having a better movie and more people might like it. You know, I will say this about Mortal Kombat, though. Kano, fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he made that movie. Like, that's why I actually finished watching that movie was, okay, this dude, he's awesome. Like that dude.
Is that the guy from Raid Redemption?
No, he was the like kind of got his face ripped open guy, total smartass, right? That's Kano, right?
Mm-hmm,
yes. Yeah. So yeah. He saved the movie for me.
I think I still think both those movies pale in comparison to Annihilation, though, because Annihilation had James Remar as Raiden. You can't beat that.
I liked Christopher Lambert. He was pretty good. Raiden.
Yeah.
But Christopher Lambert was lame compared to James Remar.
Well, had to get that haircut too at the end. You like it?
Cantality.
Well, in the second one, though, they killed Johnny Cage in the first 5 minutes, and
yeah,
the best character. It's like you got to have Johnny Cage.
That was didn't they have him in this new one though? Didn't they bring back all the characters?
No, it didn't bring back Johnny Cage.
Oh, he did. Oh, he's dead.
No,
he just wasn't introduced yet.
So
okay.
That
must be for the second
they might
movie.
be setting them up probably. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, again, you know, the whole thing is like you don't want to offend people with your opinion on movies. At the end of the day, it's all supposed to be fun. So people really need to kind of just like sometimes let it go, because I mean, you just see this stuff on the internet. People get so angry about movies.
I couldn't believe all the hate that Mortal Kombat got. Everyone was so looking forward to it, and then it came out, and then all I saw was all these YouTubers are just spewing hate on it, and I'm going like, what are you spewing hate on Mortal Kombat for? It's a bulletproof movie. It's bulletproof. It's a summer popcorn movie. You go in there, you check your brain out for a couple hours, you pick it up on your way out the door. That's all it's supposed to be for. I mean, but you got people in there going like this, you know, like all these big old exposés about why this and this happened. It's just like, look, if you didn't like it, okay, that's great, that's awesome, you know. It's, you know, but to sit there and say, oh, this is the worst piece of shit since ever, I don't get that.
Well, I think, you know, as people get more jaded and, you know, we're more invested in social media, which I wish we could get away from a little bit because it is kind of scary. I think part of the problem is a lot of us, myself included, at times we do forget to have fun. You know, let's take a look back. Let's go back to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Okay. It's not the greatest movie. It's not
No.
the greatest movie. I mean,
It's really fun.
he jumps out of an airplane with a small child and an annoying woman, and they're in a raft and they hit a couple cliffs, and they end up in a river and they all survive. Okay. Now, if that happened in the internet age, people would tear it apart like they did Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But when Temple of Doom came out, we didn't have the internet and people still knew how to have fun. So I think that's a big part of it, and I think it's a really relevant answer to a lot of what we're talking about here. You can rip a movie apart critically, but even some movies that I hate or don't really enjoy, I can still have fun with, I'm not making it my life's work to really hate shit, I can still enjoy stuff, even if it wasn't my favorite.
Johnny is getting his own movie. Okay, for Mortal Kombat. I don't know how the film is done at the box office. I lost track of it, but I know it's fighting off a Japanese anime movie. But yeah, I mean, I like to, I love popcorn movies. I mean, that's no, you're not offending anybody, Brad. Believe me, no. I mean, popcorn movies are what they are. So you stick around. You can share your opinion. You're entitled to it. You're entitled to share it. But I mean, it's a great, it's just a great microcosm of I guess the new, like to me, whenever I see a movie like Mortal Kombat come out and stumble, I don't necessarily put it on the director. I always immediately think studio interference. It's just that's how it is now. You don't think the director's not that bad. It's just that you got Suits, and I think they really ruin it for a lot of movies.
Okay, this is my hourly check-in. I am here. I'm doing well.
Okay.
I'm just hanging out with you guys. I do want to say that everybody has their own opinion to movies, whether somebody else likes it or doesn't like it, and it's all good because you know what? I like Halloween from 1978, but some people don't like it.
No,
I like Halloween Season of the Witch. Some people don't like it, but you know what? That's my opinion, and you know what? That's how it is. Everybody's entitled to their own stuff, and I agree. We should just have fun and watch movies. That's all I want to say. And Tim, I'm doing all right, buddy. Thanks for checking in on me. And it's just everybody loves their own stuff. Everybody likes certain things, and some people like cheese on their hamburgers. I don't like cheese on my hamburgers. It's just how it is. It's all about having fun.
Canceling you.
And spending lots of money that we don't have on movies. That's what it's about. That's all I got to say.
No, I just that's how I feel with big budget movies. I just feel like studio interference really ruins it for a lot of it. They're trying to get that right perfection market or whatever. Like they're trying to appeal to a certain amount of the diversity. We gotta have something here for these people. Here's something here for these people. No, you just gotta have a movie that entertains for everybody. And we used to. Now it's with the reaction of the internet. Studios look at they look at YouTube or Discord or whatnot, and they get so wound up that future movies it's not free flowing. They're really tight because they're trying to appeal to everybody.
Well, they focus group everything. They focus group everything. I mean, so many of these big features get out to the public, and they screen them, and this focus group didn't like the ending, so we need to change it to make it better. But maybe the artist wants that ending there. Maybe, there's something to be said about letting the director direct. And that's been a problem with Warner Brothers for, several years now.
Now, Joe brings up a great question. I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Joe brings up a great question. He wants to know if I like The Midnight Hour, the movie The Midnight Hour. I want to know if any of you guys have seen The Midnight Hour, not the podcast,
no,
but the
I
movie with LeVar Burton in it.
No, I have not seen The Midnight Hour with LeVar
It
Burton.
is for free on YouTube.
So
It is
I have
great.
watched.
If you like
I have watched
Halloween,
Was this pre-cocaine or post-cocaine, LeVar Burton?
I don't know, but you'll have to take my word for it. No, I'm just
Okay.
I have watched a few Reading Rainbows.
I love the movie The Midnight Hour. It's one of the greatest Halloween movies ever made. If you like Halloween movies, you've got to see The Midnight Hour. And you don't have to wait till midnight hour to watch it. You can watch it whenever you want.
That's amazing.
King saying I personally hate a certain type of people, but that's my opinion. I'm entitled to discrimination. Wow. It's like okay, Joe. I don't know. Yeah, thank you. We don't need no. That sounded a little bit right wingy. So yeah, we don't want that. Well, the WLM, yeah, I think we know where that was coming from. Okay, so someone wanted to prove me wrong and sit there and say we never had a troll before. Well, that's our first one.
You got one now.
Yeah, we had one. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, so I guess the last thing. Oh, what time? Oh gosh. Can we keep you for a couple more minutes, or is it past?
Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna take off in a minute, guys. I gotta be up early tomorrow for work. Oh,
Chris, we're gonna have you on again for sure.
Yeah. Let me know. This is fun.
Thank you so much for coming out and spending Mother's Day with us, and love the movie Sleuth. We'll put the links up several more times. Christopher's also inside the Midnight Hour Facebook group, so if you have any questions about movies or whatnot, feel free to hit him up. And he also has a page. You have a group or a page for the Movie Sleuth?
I just look up the Movie Sleuth. I've got the Movie Sleuth primary page. That's the one that's got the big following on it. And then I created the Movie Sleuth group page. That's just for, whoever you guys, if you want to share your stuff in there, we allow anybody to share anything movie related. A lot of the publishers share their new releases in there. I know you've shared your reviews in there. It's just a group page that I keep open for anybody. There's, I think, like maybe 1,000 or 1,200 people in that one. So it's not huge or anything. And I don't work on that page very much, but again, it's an open forum. So anybody here wants to go in that group and share reviews or anything, go ahead. Right now, movie memes, whatever. And then if you look up the primary page for the Movie Sleuth, that's where we post all of our news stories, articles, interviews, videos, all that good stuff.
Thanks again, Chris. This has been awesome.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Thank
you.
Have
a good night. Sorry, I talked your ear off.
You have a good night.
Oh no, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Be good, man.
You too. Thanks, Joe. So that was Christopher. That's Christopher from the Movie Sleuth. 250,000 people a month go to his website to read him and his staff. They do cover comics and books and movies and music. That guy is just okay. Yeah, thanks for hooking him. I like I said, that's the first time, Brad, that we've ever had a troll in here. So I appreciate it for hooking him. Well, wow, that's thanks. Again, I'll leave the link to the Movie Sleuth in the Facebook group, so you guys can all go in and no, Casey, Derek had a family emergency, so he was unable to come in tonight. So now we're going back to our regular scheduled program, and this is the part of the show where we talk about what have we watched this week. So what have you watched, Stephen?
Oh, well, actually, just a couple hours. Well, before I came on here, I was watching the last new season of Creepshow, the one with Justin Long, where he created a virtual reality, and he's on the Horror Express from the movie. He immerses himself into it, so it was really interesting.
How is the how does the I mean, I have not seen it because it's streaming, but how is everybody like the new Creep Show series? Is it worthy of the name or?
Yeah, it's and it even starts out like with a little bit of the comic starting in the beginning, like in the original movies, and it's got the creeper in it, and so and they've had Barbara Crampton was on this past season.
Oh
Joe,
wow!
yeah, it was actually the episode Joe Lynch who directed Wrong Turn 2, Knights of Badassdom, and Holliston. If you ever watched that,
Oh, Night the Badass was one of my very favorite movies.
yeah.
Well, oh yeah, the other Derek's here. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Yeah, it's our first troll. I have yet to see it. I don't know if the first season's been released on home media or not. If so, I definitely would like to pick it up. But I have not seen it, so I'm not sure if it's out or not.
Yeah, the first season of Creep Show it has been released. Yes.
Oh, has it? Okay, I guess I'm buying some Creep Show. Well, my viewing has been actually rather thin this week. I'm starting rewatching Have Gun Will Travel, and I don't know why. I've just gotten into it. And then I picked up an independent film called The Angry World of Brian Webster, which I'm going to be reviewing. And it's different. It's sort of experimental. I'm trying to figure out if I like it or not. I like the cast, but I don't like the characters they're playing. And that was basically about it for me. I've not really been watching a lot of stuff lately.
I caught up with Clarice too, the Silence of the Lamb TV show that they've started doing. Clarice, it's like right after the whole Buffalo Bill incident. So she's still newer to the FBI. So
how's that show? Has anybody else seen Clarice?
It's interesting, and there's this whole conspiracy in it, of course, that they gotta figure out. It's got what's his name, Michael Cut. He played Abraham on The Walking Dead. He's the her boss on it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that was Michael Cudlitz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a good actor.
So.
All right. I know. I thought Hobbs, if you're still there, if you can want to pitch in on what you watch, because I know you watch a lot of stuff. Okay.
I won't be coming back on. You guys enjoy.
Okay. So the community has been very busy this week, for sure. You obviously went to Spooky Empire. You posted a lot of pictures on your channel, right?
On Facebook, yeah. I still got to do the Warrington Gillette Q&A. I did find out, which was interesting, Barry Bostwick, he lives in Melbourne here in Florida, and he wants to open a pottery shop, which I did not know that. And he actually made these really cool Rocky Horror Picture Show clocks that he had brought to the convention.
Joe says that he's met Michael Cudlitz. Oh, your sound cut off.
Oh, Joe, man, that's okay. I guess the comments are.
I'm sorry. I was looking at it. It looks like your sound cut off. I cut you off, or your sound cut off in the middle of your last comment.
Oh, the last thing.
Barry Bostwick's doing a pottery shop.
Well, he wants to open a pottery shop. I was saying he made Rocky Horror Picture Show clocks that he actually brought to the convention to sell. They were pretty interesting that he made.
Oh wow! Okay.
So, and then
did you buy one?
No, I didn't, unfortunately. But kind of low. I mean, I've got a few things, but mostly I was just hanging around. So I bought some like pins and stuff. I'll probably put on my Walmart vests. I got some Jason ones, a Scream one, Halloween. I bought a shirt, which is kind of funny since I work at Walmart and Sam's Club. Well, there's a trick or treat shirt and it says Sam's Club on the back. So I had to pick that up.
Yeah, he says that Michael Cudlitz is one of the nicest guys he's ever met. Met him a few times and hung out for a bit. He's a good guy. That's always neat. Yeah, Spooky Empire sounds like it was a lot of fun, Steven.
So yeah, I'm probably going to go back in October. So we'll
Yeah,
see how that goes.
Sorry, you missed Richard Dreyfuss. That would have been
I
cool.
was so upset when he was filming, so he had to cancel.
Yeah,
Maybe they'll bring him back in October. I'm hoping. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's generally what happens. And generally, if they're running 2 shows a year, they'll get them on the rebound.
I will be. Go ahead.
Like I mentioned, there's a lot of community news. There's a lot of community news. You want to talk? We'll lead it off about your contest.
Yeah, on my Wild Eye Guy 85 channel, doing a 50th subscriber contest. I think I might be at 54 now, 53, 54. So I did hit that goal. If you want to do your entries in, I'm going to end it this Wednesday, Wild Eye Wednesday, and then probably either Thursday or Friday do the drawing for it. I got some Wild Eye movies that I'll be giving away. So
nice.
Yeah. So a good way, if you haven't seen any Wild Eye, to get into it or check it out. So
we got that contest going on. Other big news, Project Ellsworth hit his 1,000-person mark, 1,000 subs, his 1,000 sub. So John Ellsworth has over 1,000. So he will be. Oh gosh, that's coming up next. So congratulations to Project Ellsworth. Totally nice guy. Definitely worked it. Definitely earned it. And so he's got 1,000 subs now. Our friend Ricky just popped up in here. Ricky, how are you? Their newest video came out for old AF reviewers. I'm telling you, these guys are on fire. I mean, their content just makes me laugh so hard. Their news video is up. They review RoboCop, and then they drink Diet Coke and Mentos, and it has to be seen to be believed. It is absolutely funny as hell. But I'm not gonna ruin this. A big surprise about their video. You'll have to see it because once you do and watch it, you'll be laughing your ass off. Always entertaining stuff from Ricky and Pablo. Highly recommend their channel. If you haven't connected with them, you should. We do have some other contests going on. Also, some other news. Our own Hobbs Horror is rounding the corner for his 1,000 mark. So, if anybody wants to share him out, or if you haven't connected with Hobbs Horror, we're trying to get him to 1,000 by the end of June. So, hell, it'd be great if we get him there by the end of May. So let's go with that. If we can get him to 1,000 by the end of May, that'll be awesome. Of course, you all know Hobbs puts out great content. He's got a couple of really cool series going on. He's looking back at the 80s. He also does Wild Eye Wednesdays. So, and the boys from Now It's Dark, they're also rounding the corner for 1,000 subscribers. So, if you haven't seen Now It's Dark, I'm also will put some links up for you too. Well, I mean, we'll put some links up in this right here. So, or I'll leave it in the comment section so you can go check them out. Let's see. Wow, there's Sean Urshan still having his contest. No problem, Ricky. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We just wanted to let you know that we just love the channel, man. It's tight. All right. Sean Urshan from the horror corner. Yeah, I love that. Man, is that the best intro or what?
Yeah.
So he's got his 800 subscriber celebration going on. It used to be a drive for 800, but he's passed it, so now it's more like a celebration. So his contest is still going on. You can go to his actually, I could probably bring that up too. You can go to his channel and check out the video for that and enter if you haven't. He's got an awesome prize package going on. So you definitely want to check that out. I've noticed that Full Moon 1973 is also doing a contest. He's reaching for 200 subs, and he's also got a contest. I should actually be posting these links up while I'm ranting and raving here. I tell you what, yeah, Carson Wentz hit the turf once again. He's
And my comments froze up. I still have the same comment from Halloween something. It hasn't changed, so I don't know what's going on my end.
Let's see. Let's see what else is going on here. Yep, we mentioned you. That's it. A new channel coming. Okay, we're going to be doing a new segment here on the Midnight Hour. It's going to happen on my channel on Mondays. All the things I'm talking to you about here, as far as the pushing everybody in the community, I'm going to be putting links to it on my channel. And you guys, if you don't, if you guys want to follow what we're talking about here, it'll be on my channel. So you guys can all support the community. We're all stronger together. So yeah. As far as topics go, I guess the biggest thing for me this week was discovering that new series on Amazon called Invincible.
The great show.
Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it?
Yep, I've watched all 8 of them.
Holy shit, that's amazing. Amazing. That is I thought the Harley Quinn show was pretty out there, but Invincible just blew it away.
Oh yeah, way more intense than Harley Quinn.
Holy crap. I mean, that is some realistic shit right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has seen Invincible yet. I don't have streaming, but there's clips everywhere on YouTube. That's how I found it and followed it. It's an amazing show. It's based on Image Comics, and about there's the same. It's by the same creator of the Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman.
Uh-huh.
And wow, it's been around for a while. It's been around for like 18 years, so it's not a new kid. But they just made it, and wow, it's gory as fuck, though, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like blown away. I think the only problem I had with it, I mean, I love the story. I think the story's great. It's definitely having some fun with the Justice League.
Yeah.
Having some fun with DC. But the only problem I had with it was I didn't really necessarily like all the voice actors. I thought it was cast with personalities, but not very good voice actors.
Uh-huh.
That's the only problem I had with it. I just didn't connect with it on that level. But if anybody doesn't know the plot of the series, it's basically a young man discovering that he's a superhero or he's got powers, and
well, he's the son of a superhero, and
right,
he may or may not get powers. Of course, he does. So.
And so, yeah, he ends up have to try to save the world. It's a great series. I'm not sure if anybody's in here is a fan of it, but if you have it, I highly recommend it on Amazon Prime. If you like The Boys, you'll like this a lot more.
That's what, yeah, it's like a cartoon Boys sort of.
Yeah, and they don't hold anything back. I mean, it's gory as fuck. He was reminding me of. I'll tell you what the show reminded me of. It reminded me of watching Akira. I'm not sure if you've seen that movie. It's a Japanese animated movie.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
Yeah, once you watch it, that'll never leave your brain. It's an amazing movie as well. It's my favorite animation movie. Yeah. But that's what it reminded me of. The gore level will remind me of Akira. Just crazy. I'm really surprised they let it go that far. But more power to them. So we already talked about the conventions. So I mean, obviously, since Spooky Empire did really well, I'm sure that's going to be a footprint for other conventions to open their doors. They're going to sit there and say, well, Spooky Empire did really well, so we can do it too. So I'm thinking on the East Coast, we'll be seeing more and more announcements.
I know MegaCon's going to be doing it. They got the cast of Lord of the Rings, Elijah Wood, and the rest of the Hobbits are going to be there. I forget who else they added. I know Days of the Dead. They're supposed to be doing something in Vegas, I heard, coming up. But I mean, I won't be going to that one, but that's one that's supposed to be happening.
I think that'll probably end up tying with Army of the Dead, won't it? Because I think Army of the Dead is tied to Vegas, the plot.
Oh, they might have something to do with that. I'm not sure.
I could see that being a tie-in. I think Army of the Dead actually comes out on the 23rd, 22nd, something like that. It's going to be released this month. So I saw one preview of it. I saw the trailer for it. It looks really good, except that and they are going to have running zombies.
Yeah.
Not shufflers, not walkers, but running zombies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought zombies were more scarier walking than they were running.
Yeah.
You think so too?
Probably, yeah. What was it?
I mean,
what the first one? I think that was running. What was it? Oh shoot, what was that? The Brad Pitt one.
World War Z.
Yeah, World War Z. I think that was probably one of the first where they were running, or what was the first one they were running in?
The Dawn of the Dead remake.
Oh, the remake of Dawn of the Dead. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like the shuffling, the slowness, the unstoppableness of it. You know, the shuffle it's going to keep coming at you. You can run. You can run. You can run for 2 miles, turn around, and it's still walking behind you. Mm-hmm. I don't know. To me, that just seems more scarier than being chased. That's just my opinion about that. So I know that was. And so, what else have you heard? We have not got our Motor City Comic Con. I think they're gonna do that in October.
In August, though, I am going to back to Camp Daniel Morgan again, where they filmed Friday the 13th, Jason Lives, which I did last year. So that'll be fun going back.
Let's see. Chadwick's asking, ever met John Dugan or met Ed Neal from Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
The hitchhiker is Neal, right? Yeah, I met him in Texas at a friend.
Okay. Yeah, I like a good shambler too, Casey. I don't know. Like I said, it just seems so much more scarier to me. Who's everybody's favorite person they've met at a convention? I mean, we've mentioned before about people not having a good time there, but who's been your favorite guest that was the most entertaining? I'll just throw that out in the chat. Let's see. It looks like oops. Oh, Tawny Katane passed away. I just found out that Tawny Katane passed away. She did Witchboard. That's the movie I thought Joe was going to review. I thought he was reviewing instead of the Witchcraft. I thought he was doing Witchboard, but Tawny Katane.
Yeah. Malcolm McDowell was cool. Joe Metz said.
Yeah, I'd love to meet him.
He was actually at the Spooky Empire one year.
I would like to meet Malcolm McDowell. I mean, one of the movies I review was Time After Time. I always thought that was my favorite Malcolm McDowell movie. That was just they did a remake with oh no, so that was not, they didn't do the remake. Well, which one did they did another movie sort of like the same thing think it was like Somewhere in Time or something like that. That was based here in Michigan. It was about Christopher Reeve. I don't know.
Is that a Christopher Reeve movie?
Yeah. I think it was sort of like the same thing, without the time machine itself. So what movie are you going to review this Wednesday for your Wild Eye Week?
I actually haven't picked it out yet, but I'll do that tomorrow. So you've seen my stack up against the wall, and it's actually a little bit bigger. So, and I may be getting something in the mail either tomorrow or Tuesday. Hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. So.
Oh wow. Joe's mentioned that Malcolm McDowell received the phone call that Bill Paxton died while he was standing there. Wow, that would not be good. I was bummed to hear about Tawny Katane. I mean, I was just like, holy shit. I mean, I remember watching Witchboard when it came out at the theater. It was an interesting movie, but she didn't do very much horror after that, though.
I don't think I've watched Witchboard in a long time. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time either.
I think that might even be on Tubi.
How did everybody do with their Dollar Tree hunts this time? Did anybody get anything interesting?
I actually didn't do anything this time.
Yeah, I didn't. I only went out for one time. I only made one run. Oh, good night, Chadwick. Thank you so much for showing up.
No, have a good night.
I guess Justin didn't make it in either. I had a feeling he might not be able to make it because he said he was doing church, and then Derek had a family emergency. Well,
let's see, Witchboard. I'm checking as I'm here. I'm seeing if Witchboard was on Tubi. Let's see. I have an ad-free version of it, so I can watch any movie without any commercials. It's great.
Yeah, Joe. Sometimes that happens. I hear about people like that. They go there early, and they're the stores are supposed to sell movies on a certain date, but people go there early to raid the boxes, and a lot of employees will let them do that because otherwise they'll cry about it. So a lot of times at the stores, when they open their sales up, they don't have good selections at all. It's been picked over. It's not supposed to really happen like that, but I've heard many, many times that it has. My two stores that I shop are very strict about that. They won't put their stuff out early. But that's terrible. Because you live in a really populated area. So your Dollar Tree should actually be, dropping good stuff. And then I guess the other thing I know I'm doing a lot of superhero talk today. I'm sorry about that, but it's just really what caught my eye on the, when I was doing topics for tonight. Because I'm looking forward to seeing it because it's all different. I want to see that Jupiter's Legacy.
The what was it?
It's called Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh,
it's sort of like a live version of like Teen Titan or Young Justice. They have a superheroes, and then the kids are following in their footsteps. And whereas
I think I saw that on a list when I was scrolling down. I might have to check that out then.
Yeah, they're doing a live action, so that'll be interesting. I mean, hopefully it'll be good. It has a great cast to it. I mean, the cast is pretty strong. They have a lot of fresh faces too. So I mean, that's I guess everybody's jumping on the superhero. Everybody wants to do what the Disney Plus is doing as far as doing live action goes. It's not a bad thing.
WandaVision and the Winter Soldier or Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I got watched the last couple episodes, but it's pretty good. I've liked it so far.
I gotta agree with what Christopher said about the Black Widow, though. It's like They pushed it back so many times.
so many times, and they're saying they got to. I was reading something that they better hurry up and release it because it's not going to tie in with the other movies and shows. How they're trying to keep it, same time, the same Marvel phase.
Right, because I think they're going to have their. I mean, yeah, it's really out there. I mean, it's going to be like the new. It's going to be like Disney's version of the New Mutants.
Oh gosh.
That movie got pushed back like forever. I think overall that movie got pushed back 2 years from the time.
I think it was like 2 years. It was crazy. Yeah. Like you keep hearing about it, and it's like, okay, they're releasing it. Oh no.
Could you imagine? Like I think we talked about this before, but could you imagine being a star on that movie, and then when they finally release it, they come ask you to do the press for it, and you're just sitting there going like, I think I'd rather watch paint dry on my wall than do that again.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to, because I liked Young Justice. I thought Young Justice was well done for animated series. It was deep. There's some good deep episodes. There was some good action, good drama. Well done. So if anything is Jupiter's Legacy is anything like that. Let's see. Oh, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he wants to play Lobo. Now, I don't know if anybody follows DC Comics or not. I think this is the most we've ever talked about comics on the show. But I'm not sure how many collectors are here. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to play Lobo. Do you know who the character is?
Lobo. No, I'm not sure. Who was that?
It was DC's answers to Wolverine. Hey, Ben. Wow. Yeah, more than two. Got pushed back first for Deadpool. Okay. Yeah, I got pushed back all sorts of times. Lobo was a character that was created by DC to answer Marvel's Wolverine character. He's just a really loud mouth, intergalactic bounty hunter who has a healing factor. He's supposed to be basically immortal, and he's really brash, street talking wise, but he's insanely strong. He can bring it, but his character is really. I'm not really sure if he's an anti-hero or not. It all depends who's actually doing the comic. But he's an interesting character. But I just can't see Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing it, though. I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He played the comedian on Watchmen, and he's Negan on The Walking Dead. But I just.
And he was John Winchester, or he was in Supernatural also. He was their dad.
Right. Yeah. I just, for one thing, Lobo was a big man. He's big. He's not small. Jeffrey D. Morgan, he's tallish, but he's not very big.
He's not like Kane Hodder big.
Right. That's how Lobo's supposed to be. Lobo's supposed to be like that. It would be great if he was just a few years younger, because I don't know his age, but who I really like to see someone like that would be someone like a Tyler Mane, who's really never gotten his due. I always thought Tyler Dane would have gotten a lot better. He should have been on a lot more projects than what he has been. Young Justice was awesome. I agree. See, I think Young Justice is tight. It's really good. It's a really good series. I know. I'm glad to see that. I think they're doing a fourth one. Yeah, but David Harbour. They try to shuffle him in as Hellboy, and did you like him? Did you see Hellboy? Did you like him as Hellboy?
I didn't even watch the new Hellboy yet.
I did. I haven't. I just haven't watched it yet. I think they misfired completely on it. They should have had Ron Perlman come in for one more time. But yeah, I guess I would have to watch Hellboy 2 before I give an opinion about whether it'd be a good Lobo or not. Yeah, you know that reminds me of Jackie Earl Haley and the new Nightmare on Elm Street. Everybody hates New Nightmare on Elm Street, but they all like Jackie Haley. Sometimes that happens to a good actor. I mean, if you think about it, how many movies have been featured one that that one good performance, and the rest of the movie doesn't do as well, but that one person does really well in it. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. Hold on one second here. I'm looking forward to seeing Black Adam. I guess they started production on that. Oh, and Saint Maud is finally going to reach into the States. That's the A24 film. We're just talking about that the other day, and it's A24, but it has not been released. But it is now. It's coming out on May 13th on Amazon Prime. That movie looks really good. I know a lot of people aren't really into it, but that movie looks insane.
I'll have to add that to my list there as well. But well, since it's past the midnight hour by 10, I better be getting going myself. I gotta get up at 6.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Yeah. Anybody else want to come on to the? If anybody want to come on to the panel,
so
raise your hands.
All right. Well, have a good night. It was fun being on here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're gonna do it again, sir.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
And anyone who's in the room, I can't really see. Let's see. I think Joe's still here, or Cadaver. You all have a good night.
Does anybody else want to come up? I don't think you guys just want to. I don't think you guys just want to see me here talk by myself, right? Joe, Ben, 80s horror fan, Derek, you guys anyone want to come up?
I'm back, brother. It's all good.
Oh, all right. Oh, Hobbs is here.
Yeah. I had to step away for a little bit.
Yeah. I'll get with you after this about what you said. I don't know what was going on, but I definitely want to know.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the troll? The troll did that?
I mean,
I thought first troll. We never had one before.
it's yeah, it's kind of personal. We'll go into the history later on.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, Casey, they're gonna. I guess they want to look into making a live action Lobo. That would be a cool idea. I don't know. That's an interesting character to me. I'd rather them make a Deathstroke movie before Lobo, though. I think Deathstroke would do much better at the box office than Lobo. That's just how it is. Deathstroke's such an interesting character. So it makes me, after watching Invincible, though, God, I almost wish they would have made that live action, because that would have been off the chain. Holy shit. I don't think anybody wants to come up with this, Josh. So
that's okay, man. I mean, it doesn't have to be a very long stream tonight.
Yeah, it is Mother's Day.
Yeah. But
this is a lot harder than it is when you're by yourself.
Yeah, I hear you. Maybe we'll go to 12:30 and call it a night. What do you think?
That sounds good to me, sir.
And you and I will talk after.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
I apologize for stepping away, guys. Sometimes you got to be the better man and just step away. That's all it is.
Have a good
But
night, Casey.
It was cool to talk to everybody. Casey, thank you.
Well, I mean, I really liked Chris. I mean, that's actually I've known Chris for holy shit. I've known him for like Sean Kane. I think I actually knew Chris before that. It's sort of funny because we talked about popcorn movies. Is that one of his writers was he was just absolutely trashing the gods of Egypt, and which I couldn't understand that because to me it felt like a reactionary jump, like everybody else was beating up on the movie, so he wanted to get his 2 cents in, and and I couldn't understand it because the Gods of Egypt it's a kick-ass movie. I mean, it's a fun popcorn movie. The effects aren't exactly the best. There's a couple of scenes in there that are really bad. I mean, the CGI is just like trash, but overall, the movie itself is just a hell of a lot of fun. And I just couldn't understand why everybody was jumping on it. And the writer was getting sort of, he was sort of prima donna like, and it was sort of funny because I had just got done watching a movie that he liked, and I didn't, and I'm not really, not I didn't really like it as much as everybody else did. I mean, I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was all that, and that was Drive with Ryan Gosling.
You didn't like that?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right, but I tell you, you know what really turned me off by it though was Nicholas Winding Refn was on a special features, and they did an interview with him, and talk about pompous. Good Lord, he felt like he was making Citizen Kane, and it was a good movie, but it's certainly no Citizen Kane. It was all right, but it was it was a good action movie, but what I call it an upper level, like holy shit, that's an awesome movie, like Heat or Silence of the Lambs or something like that. No, it's just I just found it to be okay.
You know what I watched today?
No.
I watched Mothra for the first time today.
Oh, how'd you like it?
Dude, it was great.
Dude, of course it is. Man, yeah. Is that your second kaiju movie, right? Because you watched the first Godzilla movie. Okay. Man, that's right. You won that for the spices.
Yeah, I like the twins.
Yeah, they did not do the twins in the Godzilla movie. They did I'm sorry. They didn't do the twins in the Godzilla movie. The little miniature twins. I think they did.
I loved the little bit of humor they had in the film too. That
yeah, Mothra was a lot of fun.
Dude, it was a blast. The picture quality, oh my god, on the Blu-ray, it's unbelievable.
Oh, really? So that's Mill Creek too. Wow, that's nice. Is that Mill Creek release or was that
it was that Blu-ray steelbook. I can't remember. I think it was Mill Creek. Yeah.
Wow. Mill Creek is actually getting really good lately. I've heard nothing but good things about their releases. Because they used to do a lot of those value companies like that is they basically just work off an old master, and the transfers are not necessarily good. I mean, I've gotten a few of those where I put it on there and it's like they're unwatchable. There's absolutely no work done in cleaning them up. Mill Creek is really I like Mill Creek.
I did, Ben. I won it in the Horror of Spices contest.
Yeah, he tested the hot sauce out here. Yeah, Mill Creek has really stepped their game up. I was really bummed. They used to service us small reviewers. Like I was getting stuff from them to review, and I did. But during the pandemic, they just cut us. They had to cut costs. So a lot of the smaller reviewers got basically got let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny though. They still send me press releases though.
Do they?
Yes, they send me the Ultraman ones. It says, "Could you put this up?" And I'm going like, "Excuse me, but you're the one that said no to me."
Yeah, I hear you.
So I'm like, I'll be happy to put them up if we can, reestablish our relationship.
Yeah.
So next week we have Mike Ferguson on the show, and Mike has done a hell of a lot of horror films. He's done a lot of thrillers. Um, he did Triassic Attack or Triassic Hunt for Asylum. So it's gonna be a lot of fun talking to him about what's it like working on an Asylum set. I'm sure he'll tell us that they kept his ass running the whole set, the whole shoot.
Oh yeah.
So he's done that. He's done some allegory films. He's done, like I said, he's done a ton of horror. And then on the 23rd, we have Daniel Hill from Silo. You know, I have a copy of Silo. I'm gonna be giving away next on the 23rd. We got a copy to give away. But I'm gonna save my question for the stream. But I did not know how Oscilloscope got started until I read about Silo's biography. The press release. I was really surprised. Hi Jen, welcome back. So then we got that, and then we have Jack Cook on the 30th of May. That'll be on the Spices channel. Becky and Vincent they're going to be hosting on the 30th with a new young actor, producer, director, Jack Cook, who's just starting out in the business. So he's going to be on here on the stream, letting us know what it's like to get his feet wet. So I'm happy for that. I'm really excited to see that show. That show is going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Oh yeah.
Now I gotta go find some of his stuff to watch.
I'm literally running out of room. I'm gonna have to start upgrading some stuff to Blu-ray just to make room.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm just gonna get rather. I think I'm gonna get rather picky about that too, Josh. I mean, I like DVDs a lot, and if it's something really really outstanding, I'll get. But I think I'm with you about the Blu-rays. I'm running out of room too. I have to go get another. I have to get another case from the basement. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Get it out, Josh. Ben's been inside here. Ben's been inside the chat for like about 20 minutes, and he's been behaving himself. I'm very impressed. Thanks, Ben.
That's true. We can just go back to VHS and say fuck it.
Yeah, VHS is going to come back. I mean, Mill Creek does VHS releases. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
On certain movies, they do VHS releases.
Well, the truth of the matter is, I may go down to just one format for each movie, but that would be difficult for me to do.
I think the problem is with a lot of people is that when they triple and quadruple dip, it's like, Christopher says he's got 5 copies of Star Wars. It's just like, why? Or I Spit on Your Grave. There's 6 copies out there of the same movie. I get that, but why? Joe, VH, yes. Yes, you are, Ben. Thank you so much. Are you impressed that he watched Mothra?
Ben, we need to get you a copy of the Spanish Chainsaw Massacre.
Hell yes, we do.
Also, maybe Jen can watch that one. And Joe, maybe not so much for Tim, but
yeah, everybody's been hitting you up about that, haven't they? Did you say that a lot of people are coming through asking you about? Yeah, I'm still wondering why it wasn't listed as extreme. The way you discuss it, it sounds like it's just like balls to the wall, like a poor man's Serbian film.
To be truthful, I need to get it to Joe as soon as possible. Joe needs to review it and watch it. He can be the ultimate judge whether or not it should be an extreme title or not, because he's got a lot of detail on some of the movies from Wild Eye Extreme.
Yeah, we should ask. We should ask Brad.
Brad has it. He hasn't watched it yet.
Oh, he hasn't watched it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, he might be saving it for the next Wild Eye week. I think we're gonna have to send Joe a copy of the Spanish.
It might be the one movie that we passed around to everybody to watch. Kind of like back in junior high when we passed around Showgirls.
Right. Showgirl. God, that was pretty ballsy for her back then, wasn't it?
Well, the guy would pay $10 to rent it from one person, and we would just pass it back and forth to people.
I just remember everybody was talking about the fact that Elizabeth Berkley did it because she had done that Saved by the Bell, and so she did her first nude scene, and so
really,
yeah, that was her.
Jen and Christian, all they get are VHS now. Wow, that's interesting.
Wow, okay.
You know what? Maybe that's the best direction to go. Maybe just get VHS.
Well, what I say as far as collector wise, I would recommend this though. I don't know if they have a VHS to disc like recording, but I mean I would do that. I mean if you got a VHS tape and you could record onto a disc, I would do that. That's what my friend did. He would buy a vinyl record. He'd come home, he put a cassette on there, and he would record the album onto cassette, and then he would put the album away. And then that would be it. He'd never touch the album again.
Look at this. The community is speaking. They're all getting VHS now versus everything else.
I'm still waiting for Joe to actually show us a little bit of I mean, like show us one of his rooms, at least a shelf.
Go back. I'm telling you, go back to his original videos. Click on the oldest video, and you can go back and you can look at just a portion. And this is 10 years ago. Joe's been on here probably since, because I started back in 2013 or 14, maybe earlier. But Joe has an older video of his older stuff, and he had a whole room at that time, I think, just for DVDs. And you could see some of those maybe and check it out.
Yeah, Joe, you got to be careful about that. He said he's working on the VHS. I bet you what? I bet you didn't take very long for that shoulder to start hurting. Probably two or three VHS tapes. That would probably be enough to tweak it. 11 years this year. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I've been looking at everybody's first videos, Josh. I have been. I actually go back and I hit the oldest. I want to see how everybody looked when they first started out. I wanted to see if I'm not the only one that talks with marbles in their mouth. He
has more in that 11-year video than I do currently.
But what if we combined our collections, Josh?
Yeah, you'd have to get a second mortgage, Pat.
I'm talking about quantity wise. I mean, we might be able to scare him a little bit.
Well, somebody made a keen point to me that came into my place and said, "You're going to have an entire room if you want to continue to do this." And I don't have another room.
No, I have one room I still have yet to break down and do it. I'm going to do it. But you know what? I was going to hire a carpenter to come on in and do the shelving. But then I'm reading about how the lumber industry, going to get lumber now is fucking just absolutely insane. The demand for lumber, it's absolutely insane.
But the problem is, now that you're collecting figures and stuff, you're gonna have to make more space for that too. You're gonna have to go to like a store and get some of those racks.
You're gonna have to stop mentioning that. That's what happens when you mention that, Josh. That's what happens. You mention, hey, he's got figures, and next thing you know, I'm getting another one.
Now that you collect figures and stuff and VHS as well, people are gonna start sending you more. You're gonna have to start building racks like a store.
Oh my God. I know my birthday's coming up in August, and of the life of me, I already know that my sister's gonna send me some figure. I already know it. I'm thinking to myself, she's gonna send me figures for my birthday.
Well, people know now that you collect Funko Pops and figures.
No, that's when am I gonna see your Funko Pop collection? Next Sunday, exclusive here in the midnight hour, Josh's Funko collection. Be here.
I only have 10 of them, so you'll have to wait on that.
I'm
Doesn't
still
hold a
waiting.
candle to Now It's Dark.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah, you and Jim and John are pushing the 1,000 mark, man. I mean, holy cow. That's just amazing to me. You guys are actually going to reach it. I'm hoping that you can reach it by the end of May.
If I can keep my sanity that long, for not losing it.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I try to be a calm, cool, collect person, but sometimes I lose it, dude. You know that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. Well, you have to break it down for me after this. I have no idea who that was. I was just shocked. I was shocked because I was sitting there going there with Chris, and I'm saying how we have never had a troll in our chat, in our stream, not one. And then I jinxed it. What can I say? I jinxed it.
Don't worry. We'll discuss it all. I don't want to go too far into it right now where we're live, but this is a repeat offender. Let's just leave it at that. Not with me, but in other streams. So
okay. So what has everybody got coming up on their channels this week?
his name is Douchebag. His last name is Bag. His first name is Douche.
Douchebag. Yep. Uh-oh. I think they're showing VHS picture. Again, Jen, if you have a wish list of VHS tapes, you can send me a list. I go to the Salvation Army, and if I see anything that you're looking for, I'll be more than happy to pick it up for you. Yeah, I really dig in the Fangoria challenge. I lost 4 subscribers this week, and I didn't post anything.
I've got 93 videos to catch up to tonight once I'm done.
I'm glad to say that I'm not going to be. I don't think you got to watch the old AF's reviewers. You got to watch that one.
I watch everybody's stuff. I put everybody's stuff in a watch later and just go right at it when I can get to it.
Man, you're a machine.
I do. I watch everybody's stuff. I try to watch everybody's stuff. And if I don't watch it, I'll try to get maybe half of it and the other half later on in the day.
Ben says he's got another amazing package from amazing people coming up. That's awesome. Viewer mail is always it's always great.
I like Ben's uploads too in his videos. Like he's really thorough and pretty good. I like thorough updates. Those are always good.
It's funny. It's like I'm looking at I'm thinking about we're all talking about VHS tapes and finding or whatnot. It was funny. I was watching Katie Warman's new video, and she mentions that she found her first Criterion out in the wild. I knew when she said that. I knew which one it was, and sure enough, it was. It was the one movie I thought it would be. It was the Royal Tenenbaums, and I have seen that movie out. Now I've actually seen that out like 4 different places. It was weird because it's like I can't explain that. It's like I saw 2 copies at Salvation Army. I saw a copy at my library, and I saw another copy at a Goodwill. I'm like, is this like the only Criterion movie that people didn't want, and they're donating it?
Wow.
It was it was a trip because I was like really excited for it because Criterion, finding them out in the wild, that's like finding gold. And I knew what it was. I said it's gonna be the Royal Tenenbaums, and sure enough, wow. Oh gosh, that's a way to start a week, Ben. You guys are all getting your copies in now. I see. God, it took you guys months to get that. Months. How I think Phil ordered his, like, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 months ago. He ordered that Irreversible, and he just got it.
So I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest right now. I'm going to find the Halloween box set. I've got to have it.
Okay.
I don't care how I find it. If I've got a wheel and deal, I'm going to find a copy of the Halloween box set. I've got to have it. I think I know where one may be.
eBay.
Yeah, but I think $600 is a lot for it right now. So.
If someone's asking for it, oh, they're insane. That's insane.
Oh, you're not familiar with that? That set goes for $600.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'll look for it when I go yard sailing.
If you find it and you go yard sailing, offer $100 for it, and then.
If I find it, Josh, if I find that, I'm giving it to you for nothing.
I would appreciate that, but
yeah, I'll keep an eye out. Criterion, you got to get on sale from the. Yeah, I'm waiting for August, Tim. I'm torn between buying the Godzilla or the Baby Cart series. I'm trying to decide which one I want. I'm gonna be able to afford one of them.
Hey Joe, what were they initially costing whenever you guys got one for you and your son? What was the original price on those?
I would think probably about $100 back then, right? When they first came out. I know Gamera's box set was $300. I checked out on Amazon; it was like $300.
The way I figure, I could probably flip one of my Halloween regular Scream Factory box sets, because I think I have 2 of those, but they're not the same box set. It's the slimmer one, and I could probably get $200 for that. So then, out of pocket, it's still $400. Probably be a lot of fucking money for that box set.
That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Well, it would only have to happen with tax money. I would never do it with bill money.
No. $30 a
wow.
piece.
Jesus.
Oh.
That's like a net profit of like 700%.
Oh wow, look at that. There's a price glitch on Best Buy's site, and a lot of people got it for that. It was $120 when it came out. A Gamera was only $112 before it was out of print. Yeah. You know what though? The out of print thing is bullshit. They just do that to drive up prices. Well, we're only going to make 2,500 copies. Bullshit. Why don't you make 10,000 copies or 15, because the market's there for it. I hate that shit. It's jacking up the price for nothing. For a fucking 40-year-old kaiju movie. It's just ridiculous. Same thing with Godzilla with that Criterion set. It's like $200. It was $199 for a Godzilla. It's like, okay, if you're gonna charge me that, why don't you put all the fucking Godzilla movies in there? Oh no, we're only gonna put the first 15. It's just like, wow, you still charge me $200 for only 15 Godzilla movies?
I've got to break it to you slowly, Pat. All right. If you're gonna start getting the boutique labels, you're gonna have to start dropping some coin, buddy, or making some trades.
Yeah, I know. I guess no one wants an extra copy of this, right? I'll trade somebody, for Godzilla. I'll trade somebody Godzilla for a copy of 50 First Dates. And if you act now, I'll send you this copy of Shallow Recruit that I found at the Salvation Army that actually came from a Family Video. So this is a collector's item right here because Family Video is no longer here. So so this has got to be worth at least what, $100 easy. Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit.
He also has a Vinegar Syndrome of the Royal Tenenbaums, though.
But wait, there's more. If you act now and make me a trade for that Halloween box set for Hobbs, I'll toss in Moana with The Rock. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh shit!
See, we're going to try to get you. So I got all three of these. I got all, in case you guys missed it, for this Halloween box set for Hobbs. I'll trade you 50 First Dates on Blu-ray. Jack Ryan, that was at Family Video, but they're closed, so this is now a collector's item. And then Moana with The Rock. So if anybody wants to trade Halloween box set, get with me. See, now they're going to be talking about the set. See, that's ridiculous. See, now that's mean. We got to find you that box set. That's our mission this summer. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I'm probably going to break down and do the Godzilla set, Joe. I have to admit, I really want that. I really want the Gamera too. I actually was going to try to invest in that, but when I saw it was like $300, I think it was actually, I want to say it was $400 for some reason, but I think it was between $300 and $400. There's no way I could do that. No, that's what he's looking for, Ragman. He's looking for the Scream Factory Halloween box set.
I just have the Blu-ray box set, but it's the Anchor Bay. I don't know.
Well, Anchor Bay should be the more valuable one.
I have the small set as well. I like it. I just keep seeing everybody with the big set, and I'm like, I've got to. If I come into some type of like ridiculous return or something, it's coming home.
I was gonna say, I mean, I don't know whether it would be better. I think it might be a little higher, but I mean, I think eBay should better chance for it because eBay has more sellers. Oh, well, how much is Vincent Gamera is $300 now, but if you got it when it was released, it was only $112 and worth every penny. Yeah, that was a gorgeous set. I was actually I was going on Amazon to get that Gamera set. I was gonna do, like, I thought it was $139. I was gonna try to find one for a little less than that, but then everyone I saw was $300, and we're like, no. Oh, see, look at I bought the Halloween Scream Factory set. I purchased in 2019 for $120. See, everybody's got that set, but you now, Josh. Okay,
$300 for Gamera.
Yeah, for the Arrow release, and I think Godzilla, when it came out, I mean, right now at Criterion, I think Godzilla is $199.
That's exactly the reason why I wanted Joe. It looks really good next to the Friday the 13th box set. It really does. It looks
very
fantastic.
nice. I think it's very kind. I think it's very kind of Joe to tell you how well it looks next to the Friday the 13th box set. In fact, I'm sure he's going to take a picture of that and send it to you.
I noticed Brad has those two together. I'm sure Joe has those two together.
And
Andrew,
Jason?
hey, Devon Graham, he has his two set together. They're like right next to each other. They're just perfectly placed right next to each other. I'll never have the Gamera set. I'm just letting everybody know that'll never be up there with mine. But that's always seems to be bundling in with everybody else's.
Godzilla set for $120 on Amazon. See, I think I can get it for a little cheaper though when it goes on Barnes and Noble sale. So I get it for like $100 because it's 50% off. So I think I can get it a little bit cheaper.
Or you can trade your copy of Garfield for it.
Oh yeah. Damn, Josh. You know what? Why didn't I think about that? I should. You know what? Let me look and see what else I got.
And a pack of Stouffer's lasagna, maybe.
Okay. Oh yeah. Hold on. I got some stuff. So. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I put Okay. So here's the quest for Halloween. So I got some more titles to offer anybody who wants to trade. I have a copy of Wild Hogs with John Travolta. Okay,
It's the Vinegar Syndrome release.
Classic Entertainment. I got a copy of Dodgeball with Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn, and get this, slipcover. You don't see that every day. I got that, and then I got a special 2-disc special edition. Raise your hands up in the chat if I'm, let me know when you see enough to do a trade. So I got a copy, factory sealed slipcover of Spider-Man 3. The one with Peter Parker doing the dancing right here. And then you saw this in my Dollar Tree haul. Here's the big plus of this deal. You got a copy of Jack Hunter with the cheetah bite marks on the cover. This is the copy that the cheetah was biting on in my video from my Dollar Haul video. Actual real life cheetah bite marks on here. This could be yours right here if you trade Halloween box set to me. Thank you.
Oh shit!
Look at that cover of that Blu-ray. Look at this. Look at teeth marks. Those are actual cheetah teeth marks right there in that video. I think they're all talking in the chat, Josh, about doing it.
Yeah.
Let's see. In 2019, remember watching videos of people saying the Halloween set was out of print and expensive. I checked; it was still going for retail, basically 120 to 140. Now it's really expensive. Oh, it's only $400, Josh. You can afford that. You were going to do $600. So
I wasn't going to do 600 unless I traded my other set.
Okay. Well, $400 right there. That'd be how about Dash for Horror? You could raise money up doing the Dash for Horror.
That's exactly what I was going to do. I was going to make a video series of Dashing for Horror to get the Halloween box.
Dude, you know what? Film it.
The quest for the Halloween box set.
Okay, why do we do? Look, we got the logo right here, right? So why don't we go to Teespring and get some shirts made up with our logo that you made, and why don't we sell some shirts and raise some money for that box set?
It's true.
We could do that. We need to do that. I think the fans all would want to pay money for a midnight hour T-shirt.
$600 shirt. Somebody can buy one shirt for $600.
Yeah, it'll be a collector's item. It'll be one shirt, and then it'll be going out of print to retain that value. And then the person who gets it can then we can sell it and get your Halloween box set.
You can have special appearances by Paladin viewing.
Yeah, if you buy a T-shirt, I will throw in the cheetah chewed copy of Jack Hunter.
A meet and greet with Paladin.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, that'll be about right. You can bring they can bring their own DVD or Blu-ray, and he'll chew on it for free.
There you go. I think we've gone a little bit past 12:30, but I think we're going to call it. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ragman. Thank you, Jen's Reviews from the Graves. Thank you, Horror Man. Thank you, everybody that was on tonight.
And we'll see you next week with Mike Ferguson.
We'll see you next week with Mike Ferguson. Good night, guys. Joe, thank you. Jason, thank you. Brad, thank you. All to the Super Slash brothers. The Cheetah, have Cheetah View. Paladin. Everybody in the community, thank you guys. Have a good night.